It's Monday, July 13th. Today, panic and horror. What witnesses are revealing about the chaotic moments after shots rang out in a Toronto street festival and the changes made at other major events over safety concerns. Also today, severe weather season. What scientists are saying about the summer storms that brought heavy rainfall to parts of the province, causing flooding and damaging homes. And later, grab your quarters and your loonies. The return of a beloved community arcade is welcoming dozens of people back to the machines they grew up on. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Monday to you. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Ainsley is live with Rainbow Stage this morning, telling us all about Legally Blonde. Of course, it being such a scorcher this weekend, one of the shows had to be postponed or delayed or canceled because of that extreme heat. So we're going to get an update from Ainsley on their season and what's to come in the next few weeks. But yeah, I went to Folk Fest on Saturday. I went to the Bomber game on Friday, which was fun, and it was hot. Saturday, scorcher, melting at Folk Fest. Survived that. Yesterday I stayed inside. I just didn't want to be in the heat because it was crazy.
Oh my God. Yes, it's when you walk outside, it's oppressive, it's dangerous. Yes, that's the level of humidity we're at. And we are in store for a break in that extreme heat. But right now, though, not the case. As you can see, our current conditions at 25 degrees. That humidex, though, already at this early morning hour at 6 a.m. and it feels like 32 degrees out there. So no rest from that heat, even overnight. Lots of sunshine, stronger winds out of the south-southwest at 30 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, humidity sitting at 71%. So a little bit of rainfall and thunderstorm activity to show you passing through northern parts of the province. So about a 30% chance of it in the northwest, but a much stronger in the northeast. And you see those scattered thunderstorms wrapped into that system as well. We also have some heat watches and warnings in effect. The yellow, the watches, the orange, the warnings, and wind advisories on our big lakes there. With it, temperatures will be in the mid 30 degree mark, but with the humidex, it'll feel in excess of 45 degrees at time. Yes, very extreme, very dangerous, and we do see it pushing further into northwestern Ontario. So we're definitely not alone in this. Saskatchewan, much of the province as well, under those heat warnings. For us here, you can see we're off to a decently clear start where there's that precipitation I mentioned. As the day progresses, we're staying pretty clear, pretty breezy. Southerly winds strong at 30, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour in the north. And you can see that system really wrapping around the northeast corner. That's why the chance of it hitting the northwest is so much lower. Overnight, maybe one or two clouds for us, but for the most part clear, as is much of the province. And tomorrow, lots of sunshine. And then we start to see a bit of a breakup with our temperatures. Not extreme, because today, talk about extreme, 35 degrees. Tomorrow we lose a few degrees from there, but the humidex not likely to be as strong. And then by Wednesday, we're back below the 30-degree mark.
Thank you, Catherine. Canada's largest city is still reeling after a vibrant street festival was shattered Saturday night by gunfire. Bullets tore into the crowd at the Salsa on St. Clair, leaving 2 people dead, several injured, and sending hundreds scrambling for safety.
I just saw a wall of people running towards me, and I freaked out. I didn't know what was going on.
Everything was normal, and suddenly you look outside and we're like, why is everyone running? What's happening?
No arrests have been made, with police calling the investigation complicated, and no word yet on just how severe the injuries are for those who were hurt. CTV's Kamil Karamali walks us through what happened and the impact it could have on future festivals.
The partying at a salsa festival in Toronto quickly turning into panic. Gunshots ringing out just after 8 Saturday night.
The third, about 7 shots, and then I seen everyone running, so they started running.
Sending thousands running for cover, including these 2 women seen in this security footage welcomed inside a neighboring home.
These 2 lovely ladies are begging to come in and for help.
As police tore through the crowd on the hunt for the shooters.
It turned out not to be an active shooter in the classic state sense of the word. This seemed to be an exchange of gunfire between individuals targeting each other.
2 men killed, 5 others injured, 2 firearms recovered, spanning 3 separate crime scenes, but no suspects identified.
And Undoubtedly, over the last several years, security at such events has ramped up across North America because of some bad events that did occur.
At one of Canada's largest events, the Prime Minister soaking in a Calgary stampede that has now revamped its security after multiple stabbings last year. But today thinking about Toronto's tragedy.
I want to salute the first responders, volunteers. People really did step up.
Over under the truck.
And it's been more than a year since a vehicle rammed through a Filipino festival in Vancouver, killing 11 people, resulting in recommendations for increased security at festivals.
I think all these events really lead to more and more thoughts, intelligence gathering, and planning than we ever saw in the past.
Today in Toronto, the rest of the Salsa on St. Clair Festival canceled.
The city will be examining all other street festivals to come. Certainly we'll be having several meetings about this.
While this salsa event a few kilometers from the crime scene still in full swing, but filled with plenty of apprehension.
It just makes you more aware of your surroundings. As you can see, we're sitting close to the exit, so if anything happens, we have a fast out.
While police continue what they call a complex investigation given the size of the crowd, organizers of Salsa on St. Clair say they're shocked by the shooting, but have yet to provide more details on their security measures at the event. Kamal Kromali, CTV News, Toronto.
It's looking like it's going to be another hot day in Winnipeg. Environment Canada says in a warning that the humidex today could reach 45. CTV's Joseph Bernacki reports.
At Main Street Project, staff are collecting cases of bottled water.
Hydration is the key in extreme heat, I would say, and people experiencing homelessness are the most vulnerable.
Deere says the organization's water drive is a summer staple during periods of extreme heat. The more cases of water donated, the more are flying out.
The van outreach is running 24/7. They are always giving out water bottles.
Main Street Project is asking the public to drop off water here at 176 Logan. As temperatures are expected to remain in the mid-30s until early next week, Environment and Climate Change Canada says staying hydrated is key to staying safe as temperatures roast southern Manitoba, and that's before even factoring in the humidity.
Humidex values will be more like low to mid 40s, so definitely reaching that dangerous zone for sure.
Corriveau is urging people spending time outside to be aware of the symptoms of a heat stroke.
So if you start to feel dizzy, like a headache, you just start to feel like uneasy, then time to go inside. Find some air conditioning for sure. Don't play around with this kind of heat this weekend for sure.
And it's not just people trying to beat the heat. At Assiniboine Park Zoo, animals of all types are finding different ways to stay cool.
The wolves will be the same kind of idea where they're tucked into the shade. They'll dig a little nook in the ground, a little den, if you will, and they'll kind of tuck themselves into the earth because the earth will be a lot cooler than the surface.
LaFleur says all the animals will have fresh water, and those who can will swim.
If they have a pool in their habitat, that will be clean, freshly filled, ready to go for them to dip in and cool off.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The City of Winnipeg is encouraging people to use one of the 9 hydration stations set up in the downtown and other neighborhoods. It's also reminding people they can seek refuge from the heat at leisure centers and libraries. As tick populations increase in this country, another disease is on the rise, and it's not Lyme disease. It's called anaplasmosis. A paper published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal says it's important for doctors to consider the illness, especially in patients with an unexplained fever. The paper adds that it is highly treatable. Black-legged ticks carry this illness as well as Lyme disease. There has been an increase in the number of these ticks in Ontario, Quebec, and Nova Scotia. The Public Health Agency of Canada says people can protect themselves by wearing insect repellent, checking themselves for ticks, and promptly removing them with tweezers. Automaker Ford and the union representing more than 5,000 of its workers have struck a tentative deal. Word of the agreement between Unifor and Ford came after intense talks earlier this weekend. No details will be announced until after workers vote on the tentative deal. If approved, the contract will likely be used as the blueprint to get deals with the other major North American automakers, GM and Stellantis. The real Viking row looks way harder than the one at the World Cup. The Viking experts and enthusiasts in Norway are sharing in the excitement over the cheer. They do, however, have some minor quibbles. For example, you can't do the row that fast. Out at sea, people would need to row for hours upon hours. In the end, the Viking spirit is all about winning and working together, and Team Norway has plenty of both on display at the World Cup. Very cool. Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along Portage Avenue. Looks like things are starting off really well this Monday morning. If you see any problems out on the streets today, please let us know by sending us a text at 10400. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's hanging out at the Rainbow Stage this morning. And what's going on there right now?
Well, they're prepping for Legally Blonde. Jesus Christ Superstar just finished off, and wow, what a summer for Rainbow Stage. Renovations, the first time they've done that in 40 years, unveiled a really cool rainbow that we're going to show you. We're going to be looking at some of the specs for Legally Blonde as it pertains to the props. Look at the room we're in right now. I said I can't even maintain my attention because there is so much neat stuff in here. What you're looking at there was from the law bench. There's the trailer for Legally Blonde, obviously one of the most highly quotable movies and really a spin-off right now too on Amazon Prime, so it's great timing to be going to that production in August. Then they get ready for Fiddler on the Roof, so there's no shortage of great talent in here in Manitoba and live performances.
Okay, sounds great. Can't wait to see more. Thank you. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's already hot this morning. Catherine.
Yeah, whoever said orange is the new pink is seriously disturbed. Just wanted to wedge in one of my favorite quotes from Legally Blonde. I was trying to think of a weather one, but I didn't come up with it in time. Yeah, I'm not enjoying these temperatures at all. Don't take my long sleeves as a pointer on how you should dress. We just have very helpful AC in our newsroom, so I got to stay warm. Out here, though, it would be helpful to be dressed a little lighter because it's already 24 degrees at this early hour, and that humidex making it feel more like 31. Decently overcast to kick us off. Winds are breezy out of the south-southwest at 28 kilometers per hour. Pressure falling. Humidity at 73%. So yes, what do we have surfing up today? Tons more heat. That's no surprise to anyone. This very warm, oppressively warm air mass still huddled over mostly southern Manitoba, meaning heat watches and warnings are in effect and have been for a number of days. It looks like it won't be lifting until tomorrow, but when I say lifting, I mean today in Winnipeg 35, tomorrow in 30, and those humidex values not quite as aggressive. Lots of sunshine, strong southerly winds at 30, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour. Meanwhile, to the north, a low pressure system likely to bring a good amount of rainfall and thunderstorm activity, most notably to the northeast. The northwest has a chance of seeing the rainfall as well, although it's a little bit lighter. I'm going to go inside and enjoy that AC, but stay with us. We've got so much more CTV Your Morning Winnipeg on the other side of this break.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Good morning. Summer storms have brought heavy rainfall to parts of the province, causing flooding and damaging homes. CTV's Alex Carpa takes a look at what some say is behind the extreme weather.
Heavy rainfall has triggered flooding in communities across southwestern Manitoba. Powerful storms unleashing large hail and tornadoes have caused widespread damage across the region.
The cool colors, or the greens and the purples, sort of show the above average precipitation.
Atmospheric science professor John Hanesiak says slow-moving storm systems have dumped excessive rain over southern and western Manitoba, allowing it to linger over the same areas for longer periods of time.
It's a little unusual to see weather systems sort of form and decay right over top of the prairies, all in the same area, and rather slow moving. So this has probably helped contribute to some of what we've seen.
Data from Environment and Climate Change Canada shows almost 270 millimeters of rain fell in Swan River in western Manitoba in June, an astonishing amount the town hasn't seen in 100 years. Meanwhile, other parts of southern Manitoba enduring a similar experience.
Some of those systems were pretty heavy. I think it's not something that I've seen a lot of.
Scientists say Manitoba's recent storms fit a pattern climate researchers have warned about for decades. As temperatures rise, the atmosphere holds more moisture, creating conditions for heavier rainfall and more intense extreme weather.
Unless we curtail our emissions as a species very, very quickly, we're looking forward to much more severe, believe it or not, events in the future, more frequent, more severe, and longer lasting.
And forecasters say the threat of severe weather is not over, as conditions could persist for the next few weeks. Alex Garba, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Manitoba government is rolling out several financial measures to help people hit by flooding in recent weeks.
We have our finance department and EMO working through the weekend to put money into your hand.
The province will be providing a $500 cash advance to people who have applied for disaster assistance. The Premier says it will be coming by check, along with a letter outlining the DFA process. Wab Kinew also noted people don't have to wait for assistance to start their repairs, hire contractors, or order building materials, but they will need to keep photos and documentation of the work being done. 1,800 applications have already been received from people in the flood areas. The Red Cross will also be in the Swan Valley region and Swan River this week to help with personal recovery planning.
This personal recovery planning that is available to you and to anyone who's been impacted by the floods this year allows you to sit down with somebody with the expertise to sort through how are you going to plan to manage your finances over the coming weeks. How are you going to maybe cash flow getting your basement repaired?
The service will also be available by phone. The Premier says 5 teams of 25 people from Team Rubicon will be rotating over the coming weeks through the 3rd week of August to help with cleanup in the Swan River Valley. Manitoba is also partnering with the Canadian Red Cross to take in donations that the province will match. Kinew says the total cost of the storms to the province are still being worked out, but could approach $300 million. Prime Minister Mark Carney was greeted by a welcoming crowd in Alberta Sunday as he took in the festivities on the last day of the Calgary Stampede, including the famous pancake flip. Carney struggled with his pancake flipping last year during his first Stampede as Prime Minister, but Carney stuck the landing this time around. He joked that he'd been training for the event all year. Last night he attended the annual rodeo and exhibition, but Carney also made time for politics, talking to some people in the crowd about pipelines as he works with provinces to build a pipeline to the West Coast.
I think you have to look at this as a set piece. You know, what's the Prime Minister been up to over the course of a number of months, right? It's presence and pipelines. He is, in the context of this discussion over Alberta's future, the possibility of separatism, the referendum will happen in October, he is consistently making appearances in Alberta. He is being present. He is sending his ministers. And it's not with a hard message. It isn't, listen, either stick with us or else. It is almost all carrot. It is, we're here, we're working together, we're relying upon Alberta's energy as part of a strategic response to the hostility of Donald Trump, and just that constant presence. So as much as anything, it's just about being there right now, Laura.
Albertans will vote in October on a measure related to separation from Canada. If it passes, it would set the stage for a future binding vote on the idea. Polling to date has suggested voters are on track to reject that plan. Prince William has tried his hand at mini golf. He visited Hastings Adventure Mini Golf. The course was home to the 2026 championships earlier this summer. He took part in a short round supported by a local charity called X Tracks. It helps young people from disadvantaged backgrounds. This year's champion, by the way, is Rocky Bullen of Great Britain. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. On Alexander Avenue, the eastbound curb lane will be closed from Lily Street to Waterfront Drive. The northbound curb lane on Lenore Street will be closed from Wolseley to Westminster Avenue. And on St. Mary's Road, the northbound curb lane will be closed from Sherwood to Victory Place. If you have any traffic problems, please send us a text to let us know.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
Taking a check-in outside on this muggy Monday morning, 24 degrees out there with humidex making it feel closer to 31, which is quite severe given the time of day. Pretty overcast out there, looking downright gray. Wind shaking our camera around. They're out of the south-southwest this hour. Pressure is falling, humidity sitting at 73%. We are going to get a good amount of sunshine, and with it, no surprise, a good amount of heat. You can tell from our current conditions across the province, we're already off to a soaring, sweltering start. 27 in Dauphin this hour, 23 in Brandon, closer to the international border. Over in Morden and Winkler, 25 degrees. To the north we go. Island Lake, apologies, you are still offline. You're looking at about 18 degrees currently. Same goes for you in Thompson. Cooler in Churchill at 13, where it is misting. 23 in the Paw. As mentioned, we still have those very extreme highs expected today, and those humidex likely to make it feel closer into the upper 40-degree mark later on today. But as you can see from our current values, we're already already very muggy out there and very hot. Apologies, that graphic should not be there. Your weather alerts still in effect. These heat warnings in the orange, the watches in the yellow, and those red represent those wind warnings in effect throughout our big lakes there. With it, humidex values could feel again in excess of 45 degrees today. And with it, a lot of sunshine on the way as well, and some decently strong southerly winds that do ease by late afternoon. But it's going to also take us to late afternoon to get to those higher values, though it's going to feel muggy all throughout the day. We'll even get hotter than that. 35 is our high, 26 is what's typical. Overnight, we're not losing a ton of heat either at 20 degrees. And then tomorrow, although it doesn't look like it, that's when we start to see this very heavy hot air mass push out, and those humidex values aren't expected to be as severe, and a slow decline starting tomorrow. Your Skywatch picture of the day, a lovely hummingbird taken in Cooks Creek by Shane. Thanks for sending that in, and keep your pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Good morning. After losing everything, one young woman found a sense of belonging at the hockey rink. CTV's Adam Sawansky finds out how she was able to transform her adversity into an opportunity to inspire others.
Behind this 6-year-old stoic expression, Gina Uriana was feeling all sorts of emotions.
I thought it was a little bit weird, but also kind of cool.
But after years of living in an orphanage in the Democratic Republic of Congo, being adopted by a white family in Canada was not what Gina expected.
I had lost my birth family, my culture, my friends, and I came into this new world where no one really looked like me.
While her adopted mom, Colleen Uriana, tried everything to make Gina feel included, nothing worked. Until Gina attended her first hockey game.
And she said, I want to try.
You can tell from the smile on her face during her first skating lesson, Gina liked it. And by the time she got her first hockey uniform, loved it.
She would wear it around the house. She would wear it to sleep.
And by the end of her first season, Gina was playing so well she'd earned a spot on the local all-star team.
Whoa. So that was maybe I could do something with this.
Although she was often the only girl in the game, Gina was driven to become the best, training just as hard off the ice as on.
The ice was my place where I can be free from all my trauma and my worry.
Where instead of being defined by race or gender or a traumatic past, hockey, Gina revealed in a recent speech, is where she found the freedom to just be.
Hockey saved me in many ways. It gave me a place to go. It gave me hopes and dreams.
So you can imagine how it must have felt for her to then be scouted, to earn a scholarship to attend the Ontario Hockey Academy, to be on the path to realizing her dream of playing for Team Canada, and then suffering a career-ending injury.
I was broken, lacked confidence, and saw no hope.
Until she found the courage to face her feelings and felt compelled to share her story.
She never ever read a book cover to cover until she wrote one. So
Now, Gina's a professionally published author who's found a new purpose: to inspire young people to never give up hope.
To know that your worth isn't found in your career and there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I want to be a voice for the voiceless and for the underdogs and be a light in wherever I go.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
For all those who play team sports, check out this contest. Tell us your most memorable fun team moment. Attach a picture with it and you will be entered to win a $100 Chicken Chef gift card with draws every week. Plus, your picture and story could be featured on our show. Your team memory could be about a great play, exciting wins or losses, or just fun antics. All those things that make memorable moments and show your team spirit. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form with your answer and your picture. Good luck.
Your Manitoba sports team moment brought to you by Chicken Chef, where memories are made.
The extreme heat continues across southern Manitoba as evidenced by our current conditions. Yes, it's just after 6:30 and it's 24 degrees. That humidex making it feel closer to 31. That, for your context, is closer to a seasonal high for this time of year. Conditions cloudy. Winds are strong out of the south-southwest at 28 kilometers per hour. Pressure is falling. Humidity sitting at 73%. Yes, we are still under this blanket of very hot air, oppressive even, while our friends to the north, as you can see, contending with with a system bringing rainfall and thunderstorms, most notably to the northeast. It's actually already misting around there. I would love a little bit of rainfall here to cool us down because obviously it's hot. We still have those orange weather or heat warnings, excuse me, for us here in southern Manitoba. And the further north you go, you have these yellow heat watches. The red over our Great Lakes is the wind warnings as well. So they even extend further into northwestern Ontario. I never like to forget about our friends in cottage country, also dealing with these very oppressive highs. Just how oppressive we're getting today, 35 degrees, but that humidex making it feel more like 45 degrees at time. So the wind's strong out of the south at 30, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour. Our skies will clear up nicely into the afternoon, though. I don't know about you, maybe some clouds would be nice to try and shade us a little bit from the sun, though it will be kind of fruitless because it's still going to be very hot. Even overnight, we're not losing a lot, 20 degrees with that humidex still in effect. Winds shifting out of the north at 20 kilometers per hour. We also have a low risk, but a risk nonetheless of some thunderstorm activity. Then into tomorrow, I know this doesn't look that much better, but it's likely those humidex values won't be as strong tomorrow. So there's the good news. Still very hot, though, at 30 degrees with northwesterly winds continuing. From there, we start to come down slowly but surely. 27 and 28 on Wednesday and Thursday under those cloudy skies. And then we're back starting to heat up under the sunshine in time for the weekend.
Thank you, Catherine. The city of Brandon is still keeping a close watch over levels on the Assiniboine River in anticipation of the peak, which is expected to arrive today. In a social media post Sunday morning, the city said in the past 24 hours, levels had risen over 1.6 feet as well once peak levels are reached. The city says they'll stay there for several days before beginning a slow decline. Brandon crews are continuing to monitor and inspect all flood protection infrastructure. As well, provincial crews are monitoring and maintaining flood mitigation measures along First Street. The public is being reminded that river levels and flows are extremely dangerous. Residents are asked to follow all posted closures and stay off flood protection measures at this time. Federal authorities are asking for your help tracking down a wanted man. 42-year-old Joshua Turner is accused of breaching conditions of his statutory release. Officials say he's known to frequent Winnipeg and Portage-la-Prairie, in addition to several communities in Ontario. He's described as 5 feet 10 inches tall and 150 pounds with brown hair and hazel eyes. Anyone with information is asked to call 911 or one of the numbers on your screen. Downtown Winnipeg is getting a new research laboratory, which could include an MRI machine. The Manitoba Métis Federation has acquired the vacant National Research Council building on Ellis Avenue. The MMF says a lab will reopen with a diagnostic machine, and they have other plans for the building too. CTV's Jeff Keel shows us other properties the MMF is considering.
A former federal lab on Ellis Avenue is coming back to life.
The variety of opportunities that exist in this building is phenomenal.
Vacated after a 2012 closure announcement, the Manitoba Métis Federation has acquired the National Research Council building from the federal agency after 8 years of legal wrangling and negotiations. They plan to use the office tower for MMF government operations. 120 child welfare employees will move in from another facility, and there will be a health and science component, including training for nurses, and labs will reopen for research.
Whether they are the small discovery that unlocks the next step or that quantum leap that says cancer is now curable. They need these lab spaces to do that work.
There is also a plan to reestablish an MRI here. MMF President David Chartrand believes they could do 4,000 scans a year. He says the MMF could buy the MRI.
I think the MRI can be quickly. All we do want to go is make sure that the province is on site. This is not private healthcare. I'm not going down that road.
As long as the public is paying for it, then we can have a conversation about which way to deliver that service.
A quick look at the downtown skyline shows this is not the first property the MMF has taken over. Other holdings include the Bank of Montreal building at Portage in Maine, the former Bell MTS Tower, among several others, bringing their total commercial office space to more than 1 million square feet.
I thank them for their partnership and their commitment to downtown and its revitalization.
And Chartrand says they're also eyeing the Fort Garry Hotel if the price is right. It went up for sale earlier this year.
Also looking at other investments right now, so we're not stopping here.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A City of Winnipeg assessment values the hotel property at $22 million. The commercial real estate firm representing them says they can't confirm with whom they are speaking with about a potential sale, but they say that multiple positive constructive interactions are underway with various interested parties. Prime Minister Mark Carney says the agreement to open the Gordie Howe Bridge is a good deal for Canada.
Does a lot of work in this. We are sharing after Canada is paid back. So we get the revenues, then the servicing of the costs of the bridge, and paying the debt of the bridge, and then what's left over, there's a split.
News of a deal to open the bridge connecting Windsor and Detroit came out on Friday. Canada fronted the $6 billion cost to build the bridge. Under the original deal, Canada was set to collect 100% of toll profits until it recoups the cost. As part of this new deal, Canada will get half of the profits for 15 years. The other half goes into an economic development fund. The Gordie Howe Bridge is set to open on July 27th. WestJet flight attendants held a day of action as voting continues on a possible strike. Flight attendants at Pearson International Airport in Toronto walked in an information picket about ongoing talks, meaning there was no work stoppage and attendants only participated on breaks or days off. The union and airline have been at the table for more than 10 months. 4,400 flight attendants are voting on whether to approve a strike mandate. The earliest the strike or lockout can happen is August 2nd. Voting goes until Wednesday. Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along the Norwood Bridge. Things are moving quite well starting off this Monday. If you see any problems out there, though, please let us know. Here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.61. It's lower than it was on Friday, and the lowest price in the city is $1.54. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Ainsley is live at the Rainbow Stage this morning. They're getting ready for the production Legally Blonde. Stay with us for more details.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
The winds are picking up out here, but they're not doing much to cool us off from this oppressive heat that continues over much of southern Manitoba, all of southern Manitoba, really. 24 degrees currently, but the humidex making it feel closer to 31. A couple clouds out here, those should be moving off later on this morning, leaving behind clear sunny skies. Winds, as mentioned, are strong out of the south-southwest at 28 kilometers per hour. Pressure falling, humidity sitting at 73%. We're going to start in the north and work our way down. So northern Manitoba, a low pressure system for you, likely impacting primarily the northeast today. You already have some mist going in Thompson. So what that could look like, rainfall, thunderstorm activity today and potentially overnight. It also has about a 30% chance of hitting the northwest in and around the Paw, Flin Flon, Lynn Lake, excuse me. So you do have a chance, a slimmer one at that. Temperatures in that region still very hot, upwards of 28 degrees, upper 20s, low 30s. Much the same for us here, but turn up that heat even higher. Winnipeg is seeing a high of 35 degrees. That humidex, though, making it feel closer to 45. Sunshine and strong southerly winds all throughout southern Manitoba at 30, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour. Overnight temperatures dipping to 20 with a low risk of thunderstorms. We lose a little bit of heat tomorrow. The humidex not likely to be as severe. We're heading on over to Kildonan Park right now, where Ainsley McPhail is learning all about Legally Blonde.
Good morning. Yeah, the props department's one of my favorite spots because I play the game. What is that? What's that going to be when we're watching the Legally Blonde production? The artistic director for Rainbow Stage is joining me now, Carson Natras. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Ainsley, thanks so much for joining us here on the paint deck backstage at Rainbow Stage. Yeah, we're surrounded by Beata Hackborn's incredible design for Legally Blonde.
What can people expect from this production? Because everybody knows Legally Blonde.
It's everything that you expect. So everything that you know and love about the film comes, and then it just brings in all that incredible joy that musical theater has. The music is incredible. The dancing is incredible. The sets are extraordinary. It's an enormous show that will not disappoint.
And circling back to that, like I said, my little game of what's this going to be. So these little pew-looking things, what would that be? And then what would this be?
So what you're looking at with the sort of the hardwood siding is the courtroom. And then these transform really quickly into this, without giving away the plot, really quickly into other locations to help Elwood's time in court. Here we have the Harvard, sort of the stuffy Harvard designs that will read as though they're hanging drapes, but they're made of wood. And of course, our stack of books, as she's, that represents the studying that she's doing on her journey to what, like it's hard on her way to law.
Girls, I'm going to Harvard.
Yeah, so we're, it's an enormous undertaking, and they've been working so hard. They've been working for over a month now on all these set pieces, and we start rehearsals today, so it's a really exciting day for Legally Blonde.
And I mean, the productions in general, like you've got Fiddler on the Roof coming up as well.
We got Fiddler on the Roof coming up, and you heard it here first. We're adding a show on September 13th, a closing show at 7:30. So it's really selling well, so we're excited to add a show to that. It's summer in Winnipeg. It's Rainbow Stage time, It's really exciting.
You must be busy because Jesus Christ Superstar just finished. How was that?
Just finished our super successful run of Jesus Christ Superstar. I think their party is probably just finishing as we're here launching our...
Congratulations. To the break.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones had small losses. The Nasdaq fell 280 points. The S&P index is 22 points down. The Canadian dollar increase set to 70.76 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng is slightly up, and the Nikkei plunged 1,315 points. Good morning to 646. Another sexual assault trial for former fashion mogul Peter Nygaard begins today in Montreal. The 84-year-old who founded the now defunct women's apparel company, Nygaard International, was found guilty of 4 counts of sexual assault in 2023 and sentenced to 11 years in prison in a Toronto trial. He faces sexual assault and forcible confinement charges in Quebec for events that allegedly took place between November 1997 and November 1998. Nygaard denies accusations that he used his position to lure women and girls. 3 men are facing charges after a local delivery driver was subjected to a terrifying ordeal in 2024. Winnipeg police say the 22-year-old victim was making a delivery to a business in the 300 block of Nairn Avenue when someone put a gun to his head and forced him into the back of an enclosed trailer. He was driven to a storage facility on Notre Dame Avenue while suspects threatened him and his family before being forced to provide access codes to a storage unit. The suspect subsequently stole about $25,000 worth of merchandise. He was eventually dropped off where the whole ordeal began and reported the incident to police. 2 suspects were arrested in Winnipeg in 2024 and 2025, and the final suspect was arrested Monday in Ontario. They range in age from 34 to 43. The U.S. and Iran exchanged strikes overnight in an escalating standoff over the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. says it has hit dozens of Iranian targets in response to commercial ships being hit in the Strait of Hormuz. Targets hit include air defense systems, as well as radar and missile sites. Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it has hit back, striking U.S. military bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Oman. This morning, Iran says it won't follow the terms of its ceasefire as long as the other side isn't following its commitments. This is an animation showing recent traffic along the Strait of Hormuz. Shipping data shows the number of vessels moving through the strait has fallen to a multi-week low. The price of oil jumped 3% this morning. Brent crude is trading at about $78 U.S. a barrel. People in South Carolina are reflecting on the legacy left behind after the death of U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham.
Did a lot for South Carolina. I think he's advocated for the people of South Carolina.
He's also had a long history with the Republican Party, being known. I mean, a lot of people here will call him a sellout, I guess.
Graham was first elected to the Senate in 2002 after serving in the House of Representatives. He was once a vocal critic of President Donald Trump before turning into one of his most loyal supporters. Graham was known as one of the strongest voices for Ukraine in the president's inner circle. Early findings say it's likely Graham died from an aorta rupture. President Trump has ordered flags lowered to half-mast until July 18th. Lindsey Graham was 71 years old. In Toronto, 3 people were taken to hospital after a fire was sparked by an e-scooter battery. Toronto Fire Chief Jim Jessup posted these photos Sunday morning. Crews were called to a fire in a high-rise building on Lawrence Avenue East. You can see the extent of the damage to the unit. The 3 victims were taken to hospital for smoke inhalation. Jessup says lithium-ion battery fires spread rapidly, produce toxic smoke, and pose serious risks to residents and firefighters. At the World Cup, the semi-final matchups are set.
Morgan Rogers lets fly. It's 2-1 England. Bellingham
England punched their ticket with this goal from Jude Bellingham in extra time to win 2-1 over Norway. That was the Real Madrid stars' 6th goal of the tournament.
Julian Alvarez! Wow!
And in the other quarterfinal, Julian Alvarez scored this beauty also in extra time to lead Argentina to the 3-1 win over Switzerland. The Swiss were down to 10 men for much of the second half due to a red card. Argentina and England meet on Wednesday in Atlanta. France and Spain square off in the other semifinal Tuesday afternoon. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. On Alexander Avenue, the eastbound curb lane will be closed from Lilly Street to Waterfront Drive. The northbound curb lane on Lenore Street will be closed from Wolseley to Westminster Avenue. And on St. Mary's Road, the northbound curb lane will be closed from Sherwood to Victory Place.
Casting our eye to the sky, a couple clouds to kick us off, blanketing some sunshine. 24 degrees currently, very hot with that humidex making it feel closer to 31. It's breezy as well with south-southwesterly winds at 28 kilometers per hour, pressure falling, humidity at 73%. Sunshine, heat, that is the name of the game for us here in Winnipeg and the surrounding Red River Valley and really all of southern Manitoba. While you see a system here kind of painting a diagonal line across our province there, bringing rainfall and thunderstorm activity, most notably to the northeast. Details on that in a minute. However, these heat watches and warnings do persist. For us, warnings there in red, or in orange, excuse me, know my colors, watches in yellow. The red, meanwhile, are for those wind advisories on our lakes. And those heat advisories stretching all the way into northwestern Ontario. So our friends watching in Cottage Company, it's going to be a hot one. You're going to want to be near the lake and you're going to want to take a lot of breaks. I mentioned that low pressure system likely impacting the northeast today. It's already misting in Churchill. Temperatures here very hot, particularly in Gillam at 36, 25 in Thompson, 29 in Island Lake. The northwest has about a 30% chance of rain and thunderstorm activity, most notably this morning. Then a mix of sun and cloud. Very hot highs in the upper 20s, a little bit cooler in Lynn Lake at 23. Southwestern Manitoba, lots of sunshine, very hot. Temperatures in the low 30s, but with that humidex feeling more like 45 degrees. Much the same for us here. It'll be windy, sunny, and very hot, and the hottest temperatures coming late afternoon. Northwestern Ontario, as mentioned, likely going to be a very steamy one for you. Temperatures similar to what we're seeing here. Overnight, skies staying partly cloudy, temperatures dipping down to 20. And tomorrow, though it doesn't look like much release, it does seem like the humidex is going to be a little bit less abrasive tomorrow. A high of 30 degrees, and then we start to see things cool off slightly into the back half of the week.
Thank you, Catherine. Let's check in now on Bo and Gabby at Bounce 99.9. Good morning, you two. Happy Monday.
Hey, Rochelle, happy Monday. I missed you at the game Friday night. Wasn't that a steamy game?
It was.
Woo.
Yeah,
nice
it
win,
was.
though.
It was fun to watch.
Bo is fun to watch. I hear, and Bo's still talking about all the BO at Princess.
Oh, stop it. There were some deodorant fails, but it's going to happen with 30,000 people there.
It is so hot outside. I cannot believe you could swim in the air. Rochelle, how are you keeping cool these days?
Well, you know what? I went to, the Bomber game on Friday. Yes, it was a scorcher. And then on Saturday, my husband and I and my girlfriend, we went to the Folk Fest. And the moment we stepped out of our car, wow, you just got hit with that heat and that humidity. We're just soaking wet. Like it just happened so quickly. So I had all these ambitions to visit all these different tents and listen to different bands, but I found a tree with shades that was close to the main stage, and we sat there for 3 hours and just stayed in the shade. We could hear the music, and we stayed cool. It was still hot though. Oh my goodness. A lot of people were sweating. A lot of people were drinking lots of water. So it was good to see people were trying to handle the situation. How about you guys?
Well, I had a lot of family over in the backyard swimming pool. It got so bad at one time you had to jump in 3 times just to get wet. That's how crowded it was. But we had a good time back there. And yeah, same thing, sunscreen and just try to stay cool in the pool. How about you, Gabs?
Yeah, we were at the lake, and of course, classic parenting misadventures. Alec didn't want to go in the lake when it's hot. So I spent most of my weekend sitting in this like tiny, tiny little plastic children's pool with him. Or just putting my feet in, trying to stay cool. Lots of sunscreen. We also brought the sprinkler out at home, which was a lot of fun. So we stayed cool as best as we could. Spent a lot of time in air conditioning, just soaking it all up, eating chips, the usual.
Yeah, I get it. Yesterday, I didn't even go outside. I just stayed inside and watched Netflix. I just stayed cool inside. Thanks, you guys. Have a good day. Well, grab your quarters and loonies if you're heading to Winnipeg Beach. The return of a beloved community arcade is welcoming dozens of people back to the machines they grew up on. CTV's Joseph Bernacki reports.
Not all the fun is outside at Winnipeg Beach. Inside the Playland Arcade, players of all ages are at the air hockey table. A generational tilt is on full display.
I beat him 7-3.
To an 8-year-old grandson. It's great. I mean, I've been coming here since I was a teenager myself.
Kyler Johnson and his grandpa Scott Paluk enjoy the nostalgia of Playland while visiting Winnipeg Beach. More than 10 vintage arcade games are available, but you'll need to bring your quarters and loonies to play. Playland's owners say a nearly 70-year-old coin-operated relic is a favorite.
I think the biggest surprise has been the mechanical horse from 1957. Their faces light up when they're on it. It's really nice, and all we had to do on that one was dust it off and plug it in.
Tyler Benny and Melanie McFarland took possession in June 2025 and spent more than a year renovating the historic space. The couple reopened Playland on Canada Day. Manitoba Historical Society says the original building started in 1939 as a business to provide fast food and entertainment.
We wanted to change a whole bunch of things in our life, move out of the city, live by the water, everything, and then this place was for sale. We thought, well, let's inquire, and then before we knew it, we owned the building. And here we are, a year later. I don't know, it's been really wild.
There's no shortage of players fishing for a fight on the joysticks of this classic title as the sounds of the arcade reverberate off the walls.
The fighting one is pretty cool because I watch my brothers fight all the time, and it's just like, yeah. I just really like beating Claire. Yeah, she needs me.
A new pinball machine donated to the arcade from the record store in town will be installed this week. The couple says they are overwhelmed with support from the beachside community. They point to a friendly business owner operating a mobile lemonade stand who drove by one day.
I was working on a machine over here, and he comes and hands Mel a lemonade, and
Just says, like, thanks for opening Playland again.
Yeah.
This one's on me.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg Beach.
Such wonderful memories there. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. It's Monday, July 13th. Today, festival tragedy, how a night of music turned into chaos after gunfire erupted at a Toronto street festival. Plus, flood relief. Manitoba is sending cash advances to flood victims as cleanup and recovery efforts ramp up. And new nestlings. Winnipeg's newest zoo stars haven't earned their scarlet feathers yet, but they're already taking baby steps and baby flights. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Monday to you to 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, a little later in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to talk about women's health issues from everything you could think of, including menopause. And it's something that we don't have much research on, but that is changing. So we're going to find out more about that. And then at 8:45, we're going to get some reminders from the city on how to stay cool in this extreme heat. And it really is extreme heat. At this point, it's considered dangerous. Yeah.
Absolutely, Rochelle. Yes, those humidex values making it feel even worse than our mercury will be reading, even worse than your thermostat shows. But even that, it feels very oppressive out there at this hour, 24 degrees. And again, that humidex making it feel closer to 31. And this is 7 a.m., folks, so we know it's just going up from here. Winds are strong out of the south-southwest at 28 kilometers per hour. Barometric pressure is falling, humidity sitting at 73%. So yes, we are going to deal with a good amount of sunshine and tons of heat. Meanwhile, we do have this system to tell you about, a low pressure system that's tracking further into the northeast today, likely bringing rain and thunderstorm activity. For us here, I personally would love some rain to cool us down because we're still dealing with these heat warnings in orange and watches in yellow. Those have been ongoing for the last number of days, and they extend further into northwestern Ontario as well for all our friends in cottage country. We're going to need a lot of swims today. So yes, we're starting off pretty clear, a couple clouds speckling, but for the most part, it's going to be very clear in southern Manitoba and very breezy with southerly winds at 30 gusting at times to 50 kilometers per per hour. Then this system here impacting northern Manitoba, particularly the northeast, likely just in the morning hours, because you see as we click through the futurecast, it does start to lift off further into the northeast, so likely a rainy start to your day. In and around Churchill, it's already misting, and then mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. We stay clear overnight, and then we get a little bit more cloud coverage into tomorrow, but not amounting to much. Still a lot more sunshine. The good news is those humidex values likely to ease up a little bit, and that's by midweek. We're starting off with the potential of some rainfall in southwestern Manitoba, but other than that, we're not getting a lot to cool us down. 35 today. I know this doesn't look much better, but the humidex is expected to ease slightly, and then into midweek, we're dealing with slightly more manageable temperatures, but still above seasonal. Your weather art of the day. Look at this amazing one by 9-year-old Zane. This is a great take on a weather photo because, yes, you're out there enjoying the weather, golfing. Thanks so much for sending that in, Zane. You're pretty darn talented. And if you'd like to submit your child's weather art of the day, just visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. We're actually running low on entries, so fill out the form because your art can be shown on Your Morning Winnipeg. Plus, it's going to enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Keniston and Regent.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by Crockadoodle Paint Your Own Pottery, now open on Regent and Keniston.
Canada's largest city is still reeling after a vibrant street festival was shattered Saturday night by gunfire. Bullets tore into the crowd at the Salsa on St. Clair, leaving 2 people dead, several injured, and sending hundreds scrambling for safety.
I just saw a wall of people running towards me, and I freaked out. I didn't know what was going on.
Everything was normal, and suddenly you look outside and we're like, why is everyone running? What's happening?
No arrests have been made, with police calling the investigation complicated, and no word yet on just how severe the injuries are for those who were hurt. CTV's Kamil Karamali walks us through what happened and the impact it could have on future festivals.
The partying at a salsa festival in Toronto quickly turning into panic. Gunshots ringing out just after 8 Saturday night.
The third, about 7 shots, and then I seen everyone running, so they started running.
Sending thousands running for cover, including these 2 women seen in this security footage welcomed inside a neighboring home.
These 2 lovely ladies are begging to come in and for help.
As police tore through the crowd on the hunt for the shooters.
It turned out not to be an active shooter in the classic state sense of the word. This seemed to be an exchange of gunfire between individuals targeting each other.
2 men killed, 5 others injured, 2 firearms recovered, spanning 3 separate crime scenes, but no suspects identified.
Undoubtedly, over the last several years, security at such events has ramped up across North America because of some bad events that did occur.
At one of Canada's largest events, the Prime Minister soaking in a Calgary stampede that has now revamped its security after multiple stabbings last year, but today thinking about Toronto's tragedy.
I want to salute the first responders, volunteers, people really did step up.
Over under the truck.
And it's been more than a year since a vehicle rammed through a Filipino festival in Vancouver, killing 11 people, resulting in recommendations for increased security at festivals.
I think all these events really lead to more and more thoughts, intelligence gathering, and planning than we ever saw in the past.
Today in Toronto, the rest of the Salsa on St. Clair Festival canceled.
The city will be examining all other street festivals to come. Certainly we'll be having several meetings about this.
While this salsa event a few kilometers from the crime scene still in full swing, but filled with plenty of apprehension.
It just makes you more aware of your surroundings. As you can see, we're sitting close to the exit, so if anything happens, we have a fast out.
While police continue what they call a complex investigation given the size of the crowd, organizers of Salsa on St. Clair say they're shocked by the shooting, but have yet to provide more details on their security measures at the event. Kamil Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
ChatGPT unveiled a suite of new artificial intelligence-powered tools over the last week as it faces a number of legal challenges.
I'm making a sweater for my grandson, but I don't want the needles to be too big. What do you think?
If you go up, it's going to get kind of baggy.
Although baggy is very popular now, don't you think?
It is.
I know, right?
Are you
ready? I'm ready. Today, we are announcing the all-new ChatGPT voice, Powered by GPT Live One, a full duplex conversational partner that is the most powerful voice model ever built.
The new tools include that updated voice-based chatbot, which the company says is now capable of having live conversations that are interrupted in the same way as regular human speech. Also unveiled was a new AI agent called ChatGPT Work. OpenAI says the software can connect to workplace apps and files to automate multi-step tasks more efficiently. As for the mounting legal challenges OpenAI is facing, Apple filed suit against the company on Friday, along with 2 former employees. Apple is accusing its fellow tech giant of misappropriating trade secrets to benefit its own foray into consumer hardware. In its complaint, Apple claimed it wrote to OpenAI in February with concerns that its confidential information was being used inappropriately, but it received no reply. OpenAI responded saying, "We have no interest in other companies' trade secrets." The Assiniboine Park Zoo is welcoming new faces to its Toucan Ridge exhibit. Congratulations are in order for Scarlet Ibis parents, Feifei and Floyd, who recently hatched 2 healthy chicks. The zoo says they are eating well and already practicing short distance flights at the free flight area of the exhibit. The zoo's animal care team first noticed the parents building a nest in April. Despite their name, the chicks are currently sporting black and gray feathers. Their color will begin changing after their second molt.
Running around in their enclosure. They've been seen flying in their outdoor habitat with mom and dad, checking out the pond, meeting all the other birds in free flight. So if you're at Toucan Ridge, make sure you keep your eyes out.
The adorable chicks are ready for viewing now with no baby gifts necessary. Here's a look at what's happening outside now at Confusion Corner. Things are slowly picking up in this part of the city, as you can see. If you encounter any issues out there, please let us know.
Air Canada has reached a tentative 4-year collective agreement with the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, covering 11,000 technical operations, maintenance, and operational support employees. The union will vote on the deal in the next few days. Ford has reached a tentative labor agreement with Unifor, covering about 5,100 members at its Canadian operations, according to the union. Unifor says the agreement covers workers at Ford's Oakville Assembly Complex, Windsor Annex and Essex engine plants, as well as parts distribution centers in Ontario and Alberta. The Omer's Pension Fund is taking a big hit on the sale of restaurant point-of-sale software vendor Touch Bistro, a one-time Canadian tech darling, to Constellation Software subsidiary Harris Computer for about $100 million. This, according to the Globe and Mail. Omer's invested about $140 million several years ago. It will likely only get about $2 million back. Those are your morning business headlines for B&M Bloomberg. I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, let's go down to Ainsley, who's hanging out with the Rainbow Stage this morning. They're getting ready for Legally Blonde, Ainsley. Lots going on with that production.
Oh, it looks like I'm the worst person for the job today. No, I'm just messing around. Rainbow Stage, one of the best places to be when the weather is like this. The upgrades that they've done, renovations that haven't been done in 40 years, revealing, which they, unbeknownst to them, this really gorgeous rainbow and well-lit, obviously pink for Legally Blonde. But come along with me and have a look at some of the other upgrades too. There's new bathrooms in there. There is this gorgeous rainbow alleyway for when you're going to get a snack. They just wrapped up Jesus Christ Superstar. And of course, Legally Blonde, we're going to meet Bruiser. There's a couple dogs too. They're alternating. Those dogs get tired. So we're going to be meeting them and having a chat with the owner.
Okay,
back to you, Rochelle.
Fun. Okay, thank you. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's already a scorching day today.
Yeah, talk about blonde golden. I got to say too, for Bruiser, they had an open call for the dog, but I was hoping my dog could be cast, but there were issues. He's not a Chihuahua. He's also not well behaved. So I was told he wasn't a great candidate. So
poor guy.
That's okay.
Poor Ernest.
Yes, we'll work on it for the next open casting call. But you know what? With the pups, not a great time to be taking out for those long walks. I know for my dog, he's an Australian Shepherd. He's got the heavy fur. It's dangerous for them to be outside in this heat because if you think about how hot we are, our dogs are feeling it too. And in some cases, depending on the breed, they're feeling it even more severely. Talk about severe. It's already 25 degrees out here with the Humidex feeling more like 32. Don't take my dress as a kind of a pointer on how you should dress because we have very strong AC as needed in our newsroom. So that's why I'm dressed like this. You're going to need sleeves that are much shorter than this. Sunny, strong south-southwesterly winds currently at 30 gusts gusting at times to 40 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising, humidity sitting at 70%. The sunshine will be beating down on us and we'll be feeling its full effect. A very warm air mass has really settled in, locked in over southern Manitoba, with those heat watches and warnings continuing through much of the province. For us here in Winnipeg, we're looking at highs of 35 degrees, but that humidex will feel closer to 45. Strong southerly winds at 30, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour under lots of sunny skies. To the north we go, where rainfall, thunderstorms are expected this morning, particularly in the northeast. Temperatures there still very hot in the upper 20s to low 30s.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
It's time now for our question of the day. Today is Embrace Your Geekness Day, so we want to know what's the geekiest thing you're into. You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response, and don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic, science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions have been amazing. We want to see more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to Pet of the Week at CTV.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. We're going to take a break now. We'll be right back. Good morning. The Manitoba government is rolling out several financial measures to help people hit by flooding in recent weeks.
We have our finance department and EMO working through the weekend to put money into your hand.
The province will be providing a $500 cash advance to people who have applied for disaster assistance. The Premier says it will be coming by check, along with a letter outlining the DFA process. Wab Kinew also noted people don't have to wait for assistance to start their repairs, hire contractors, or order building materials, but they will need to keep photos and documentation of the work being done. 1,800 applications have already been received from people in the flood areas. The Red Cross will also be in the Swan Valley region and Swan River this week to help with personal recovery planning.
This personal recovery planning that is available to you and to anyone who's been impacted by the floods this year allows you to sit down with somebody with the expertise to sort through how are you going to plan to manage your finances over the coming weeks. How are you going to maybe cash flow getting your basement repaired?
The service will also be available by phone. The Premier says 5 teams of 25 people from Team Rubicon will be rotating over the coming weeks through the 3rd week of August to help with cleanup in the Swan River Valley. Manitoba is also partnering with the Canadian Red Cross to take in donations that the province will match. Kinew says the total cost of the storms to the province are still being worked out, but could approach $300 million. As tick populations increase in this country, another disease is on the rise, and it's not Lyme disease. It's called anaplasmosis. A paper published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal says it's important for doctors to consider the illness, especially in patients with an unexplained fever. The paper adds that it is highly treatable. Black-legged ticks carry this illness as well as Lyme disease. There has been an increase in the number of these ticks in Ontario, Quebec, and Nova Scotia. The Public Health Agency of Canada says people can protect themselves by wearing insect repellent, checking themselves for ticks, and promptly removing them with tweezers. Sometimes you just need a good old-fashioned stretch. The Toronto Zoo posted this video showing the Panamanian golden frog yawning and having a good stretch. The brightly colored frog is native to the rainforests of Panama. This type of frog is extinct in the wild, but this one lives at the Americas Pavilion at the zoo. All right, here's a look outside now. It's going to be another hot day in the city of Winnipeg today. Overall, things are moving quite well here on the St. James Bridge. If you see any problems out there, though, please send us a text to let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Sad news this morning out of Hollywood as we learn of the death of actor Sam Neill.
Another adventure. It's a very privileged life I've had. I have to say.
Best known for his work in Jurassic Park, The Piano, and in Peaky Blinders, Sam Neill was known for being smoothly elegant, versatile, and extremely talented on screen. A statement on the actor's social media page says his death in Sydney, Australia was sudden and unexpected. In 2023, Sam Neill said he had been diagnosed with cancer, though his family statement says he was cancer-free when he died and didn't specify a cause of death. Sam Neill was 78 years old. Some stormy seas for Disney's latest live-action remake at the weekend box office.
The ocean chose me for a reason, and it chose you too.
Moana opened to $43 million US in ticket sales across North America. Compare that to the reported production cost of $250 million. Meanwhile, last weekend's #1, Minions and Monsters, slipped to second with $20.5 million. And Toy Story 5 is still going strong with $18.5 million for the weekend. Get ready to step back into a simpler time without leaving Manitoba.
Welcome to Independence, Mr. Ingalls.
There's no post office, no church, no school.
What do you think?
So small.
What we wanted, right?
A reboot of the TV classic Little House on the Prairie debuted on Netflix Thursday. Although set in the Western American frontier in the 19th century, the 8-episode series was shot in and around Winnipeg. And filming is actually still happening. Just last month, the series was renewed for a second season. Your Monday primetime lineup kicks off with the quiz with balls at 7, then catch American Ninja Warrior at 8. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
I often think about how folks pre-air conditioning like Little House of the Prairie would handle this heat. I imagine not well because it's oppressive, even dangerous. 25 degrees out there with the humidex feeling closer to 32. It's pretty sunny and clear. Winds strong out of the south-southwest at 30, gusting at times to 40 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising, humidity sitting at 70%. Actually, some heat warnings set yesterday. I'll just give you a little taste because there were a number of them. They either tied or surpassed. So I'll talk about Gillam. You tied your record of 32.9 set back in 2012. Over in Gimli, 33.9. You tied that record. It was set all the way back in 1955. Portage la Prairie, a new record for you, 35.7, narrowly beating out your record from 79 of 35.6, just a point degree higher, I guess. There we go. Not great at doing math on the fly here. I'm also not great with this heat. It's oppressive, it's hot, and we're starting off on such a warm, balmy note already, so you can imagine where the day's going. 26 in Portage and Dauphin as well. Cooler in Swan River, 22 degrees in the Paw. To the north we go. You're still offline in Island Lake. I checked, you're at about 17 degrees this hour. 22 in the Paw, cooler in Lynn Lake at 16 degrees. So yes, we will be dealing with these humidex warnings all throughout the day because it'll feel closer later on today, upwards of 45 degrees. Very hot, very oppressive. In fact, there are heat warnings for us in orange and in yellow for those watches. Meanwhile, the rest of the province, while you're going to be dealing with those hot temperatures, you're also going to be dealing with some decently strong winds, us included here in Winnipeg. Out of the south at 30, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour. They do ease into the late afternoon, which isn't great because that's when those hottest temperatures are coming, so they won't do much to cool us down. We're likely getting up to a high of 35 degrees. Needless to say, that is above seasonal. 26 is what's typical. The good news is some cooler air is coming in, likely flushing out this extreme heat, and that's going to give us a little bit of a break in that humidex starting tomorrow. Your Skywatch picture of the day, a stunner of this hummingbird enjoying the sunshine, snapped by Shane in Cooks Creek. Thank you so much for submitting, and if you've got any weather pictures to share, send them our way. Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
July 13th, 1982. Major League Baseball's All-Star Game was played outside the United States for the first time at Montreal's Olympic Stadium. 4 Expos started in front of their hometown fans: Tim Raines, Andre Dawson, Gary Carter, and pitcher Steve Rogers. The National League won 4-1. July 13th, 1983. Gabrielle Roy, Canadian novelist and 3-time winner of the Governor General's Award for Fiction, died at age 74. Born in Manitoba, she later lived in Montreal. Her simple style and focus on human issues made her a popular and influential writer. July 13th, 2010. Winnipeg-based CanWest newspaper division, home to the National Post, Vancouver Sun, Calgary Herald, and Ottawa Citizen, confirmed Post Media Network Canada Corporation as its new owners in a deal totaling $1.1 billion. Post Media acquired 11 dailies and 26 community papers.
Prince Harry continued his trip to England this weekend. He took part in charity events in front of the cameras while questions swirled about a long-awaited and private royal reunion. The prince took part in a goat yoga class Saturday hosted by a charity that supports bereaved children and youth. That followed a visit to the King and Queen by Harry, his wife Meghan, and their 2 children on Friday. The Sussexes met with King Charles and Queen Camilla at a country estate west of London. The visit comes after years of tensions within the royal family, resulting in Harry and Meghan giving up their royal duties and moving to California.
Years since the King has seen his grandchildren in person. We will get no other pictures or details from that meeting. And frankly, I hope that it stays that way, because it's clear that this meeting is about building that relationship on both sides, a relationship that has been pretty fractured over the past 4 years.
CTV royal commentator Afia Hagen says the meeting also comes in the context of the King living with cancer, noting that in addition to being the royal family, the royals are also a family. Do you have a glorious garden? Here at Your Morning Winnipeg, we love to see how you are passionate about your yard work. It could be an annual, perennial, or vegetable. Tell us about your garden and enter the contest to win a $500 gift card from St. Mary's Nursery and Garden Center. Plus, have the chance to show off your garden live on Your Morning Winnipeg with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form with your answer and your photos. Good luck. Coming up, Ainsley is live at Rainbow Stage this morning. They're getting ready for Legally Blonde. Stay with us for more. Ainsley McPhail is live at Rainbow Stage this morning. Lots of renovations happening there. Good morning.
Oh, yes. I'm like Snow White. I bring the chipmunks and the birds.
Start singing. They land on your fingertips.
Well, I'm saying this because, of course, Rainbow Stage, Kildonan Park, having this really beautiful space. Why is it the best space for theater?
We're so inclusive that we include the wildlife. We have birds, we have chipmunks, we have geese lay their eggs here. But on top of it, we're also so excited to bring this building into the 21st century. Railings, ladies and gentlemen, under stair lighting. It's a first in the 40 years since its last renovation. So we're really excited to make this building more accessible for our patrons and like I said, bring this building into the 21st century while we're preparing to bring Legally Blonde to the stage.
Okay, that's coming in August, but we want to get people geared up right away because it's such an exciting production. What makes it so special?
Well, I mean, the singing and the dancing is what makes every musical really special. And right now, the Elle just came out on Prime, kind of priming us for bringing the Legally Blonde universe back to life. You're going to get a chance to talk to our director today. The cast starts rehearsal today. It's of the 24, I think 22 of the people are from Winnipeg. It's an extraordinary cast. It's really exciting.
I mentioned earlier that there are dogs, live dogs in the production. They're not just stuffies, but I didn't use the word pauditions, which I absolutely loved. You actually had dogs auditioning for the production.
We take our role here really seriously. So we saw about 25 dogs who came in for their auditions, and we have 2 casts. So we have 2 bruisers, we have 2 Rufi. Rufi? Is that the plural of Rufus? Anyway, you're going to meet them today too. It's going to be really exciting. We haven't had live dogs on stage since Sandy ran across the orchestra pit into the crowd during Annie in 2012.
Oh my goodness, these stats. As soon as you said Rufi, all I thought was roof. And that's how simple my mind is. What should people know before they come?
Prime yourself with Elle on Prime. Watch Legally Blonde. Or just come and enjoy one of the greatest theaters in the country. There's no other theater like Rainbow Stage. There's 2,200 seats under this iconic triadetic dome. It's iconic to Winnipeg and to the country.
Thank you so much, Carson Natras with Rainbow Stage coming up at 7:42. We're having a chat with the director.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go now to Catherine. It's a hot start to the week.
I understand why they canceled a performance over the weekend over at Rainbow Stage, because wow, these temperatures are dangerous. In fact, 25 out there, the humidex already making it feel like 32, and the day is young. Barometric pressure is rising, the skies are clear, winds strong out of the south-southwest, the humidity sitting at 70%. Lots of sunshine for us. Meanwhile, this system here that's pushing off into the northeast, you can sort of see it there. Along with it, scattered rainfall, thunderstorms likely to come this morning in the northeast, and then a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. For us here in the south, still these heat watches and warnings. The warnings in orange, the watches in yellow, they've been in effect for the last number of days. We're hoping to see them lift into tomorrow. Details on why in a moment, but we do have another day of very oppressive heat to get through, as does northwestern Ontario, where these heat warnings and watches extend. So cottage country going to be very hot today. For us here in Winnipeg, we are looking at a high of 35 degrees, but that humidex more like 45 at times. Those hottest temperatures likely into the late afternoon. Strong southerly winds at 30, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour under those mainly sunny skies. Partly cloudy skies expected overnight. We do have a risk of thunderstorm activity associated with that system I told you about earlier. Just kind of depends on how the evening progresses. It's a low chance for now, 20 degrees for us with those northerly winds. Into tomorrow, this doesn't look like much relief, but the good news is some colder air is expected to push out the hotter air today, or overnight tonight, excuse me, bringing a little bit of relief. So while this is well above seasonal, we're still going to be dealing with some less intense humidex values tomorrow. Less intense values into the back half of the week with some clouds joining us, but we're heating up again into the weekend.
Federal authorities are asking for your help tracking down a wanted man. 42-year-old Joshua Turner is accused of breaching conditions of his statutory release. Officials say he's known to frequent Winnipeg and Portage-la-Prairie, in addition to several communities in Ontario. He's described as 5 feet 10 inches tall and 150 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. Anyone with information is asked to call 911 or one of the numbers on your screen. Instead of one tornado, the Northern Tornadoes Project says it was actually 3 that formed near Riding Mountain National Park late last month. NTP has confirmed 2 additional tornadoes were generated in the area by the supercell thunderstorm on June 28th, the same storm that caused the EF3 tornado near Rossburn. An EF1 tornado left a 330-meter wide, 7-kilometer long path of tree damage near Little Menzie Lake. A second tornado developed a short time later near Roynick Lake, causing EF2 damage. It traveled 6.8 kilometers with a path width of 440 meters. High-resolution satellite imagery was used to confirm both the new tornadoes. Summer storms have brought heavy rainfall to parts of the province, causing flooding and damaging homes. Some experts say the way these powerful storms have formed has been unusual compared to other years.
It's a little unusual to see weather systems sort of form and decay right over top of the prairies, all in the same area, and rather slow moving. So this has probably helped contribute to some of what we've seen.
Slow-moving storm systems have dumped excessive rain and large hail over southern and western Manitoba, allowing severe weather to linger over the same areas for longer periods of time. As an example, data from Environment and Climate Change Canada shows almost 270 millimeters of rain fell in Swan River in western Manitoba in June, an astonishing amount the town hasn't seen in 100 years. Some scientists say Manitoba's recent storms fit a pattern climate researchers have warned about for decades. As temperatures rise, the atmosphere holds more moisture, creating conditions for heavier rainfall and more intense extreme weather.
Unless we curtail our emissions as a species very, very quickly, we're looking forward to much more severe, believe it or not, events in the future, more frequent, more severe, and longer lasting.
Forecasters say the threat of severe weather is not over, as conditions could persist for the next few weeks. After several deadly Russian strikes this weekend, Ukraine says its drones have hit at least 14 Russian ships. The military released video of the attacks that provide a first-person perspective as the ships come under assault, although the exact location and date of the video could not be independently verified by Reuters. 4 ferries were among the targets, according to Ukrainian officials, adding that nearly 100 Russian vessels have been hit over the past week. Planes are being sent from southern France to fight a wildfire near Paris. Officials say this is the first time firefighting planes have ever been sent up from the hotter and drier south to the region. Meanwhile, France's interior minister is suggesting the fire may have been deliberately set. Right now, it's burning about 60 kilometers southeast of Paris and is close part of France's main north-south highway. Manitoba and Quebec boasted the lowest unemployment rates in the country last month. According to new data from Statistics Canada, the jobless rate in June for both provinces was 5.4%. That's a drop of 0.1% from May and well below the 6.5% national average. Across the country, employment was for youth and those aged 25 to 54, while it fell among those 55 and older. As temperatures soar in central China, animals at one zoo are cooling off in style. To help them beat the heat, the zoo has rolled out a number of measures, included shade shelters, misting systems, and good old-fashioned AC. There's also some fun stuff like ice blocks for them to play with and refreshing fruits and vegetables. You're going to need that today. Some road closures to remind you about this morning on Alexander Avenue. The eastbound curb lane will be closed from Lily Street to Waterfront Drive. The northbound curb lane on Lenore Street will be closed from Wolseley to Westminster Avenue. And on St. Mary's Road, the northbound curb lane will be closed from Sherwood to Victory Place. Let's look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.61, lower than it was on Friday. The lowest price in the city is $1.54. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Here's a look outside right now. It's already 25 degrees with the humidex. It feels like 32 and that sun is shining bright. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Mother Nature continues to turn up the heat out there. Sweltering start to the day, and she is just getting started. 25 degrees with that humidex, though, feeling closer to 32. It is clear, looking a bit gray on our live eye there, but it's a lot sunnier in different parts of the city. Winds are out of the south-southwest at 30, gusting at times to 40 kilometers per hour. Pressure on the rise, humidity at 70%. So yes, no surprise, in store for another very hot, humid day. While we have a system here cutting kind of a path across our province, bringing a good chance of rainfall and thunderstorm activity, most notably to the northeast. Details on that in a moment. Meanwhile, those heat warnings in orange, watches in yellow still in effect, and those red wind warnings for our lakes. That is because this kind of massive, very hot air that's locked in over southern Manitoba continues, and our humidex reflecting more like 45 degrees. Very hot expected today. The good news is a break is likely coming, but not before another oppressive day. And those weather alerts stretch all the way into northwestern Ontario. Likely it'll take a little bit longer for you to catch up with those cooler temperatures. And cooler is very much relative, because even though we'll get a break in the humidex, it's still going to be very hot. I mentioned that low pressure system likely bringing rain and thunderstorm activity to the northeast this morning. From there, a mix of sun and cloud. Very hot highs in the upper 20s to mid 20s. Churchill a little bit cooler at 16. Northwestern Manitoba also has a slight chance of some rainfall or thunderstorm activity. Very hot highs there, a little bit cooler in Lynn Lake. Over in southwestern Manitoba, breezy, maybe a slight chance of rain and thunderstorms for Dauphin and Swan River. Much the same for us here in Winnipeg. Very hot, temperatures at 35, feeling more like 45 with the humidex. And it continues to be a hot, oppressive, windy and sunny day in northwestern Ontario, while Red Lake has a chance of some rainfall and thunderstorm activity. For us overnight, we do also have a chance of thunderstorms. 20 degrees, a very light and very hot overnight low. And then tomorrow, a bit of a cut in that humidity.
Catherine, let's go now to Ainsley McPhail's talking about Rainbow Stage's upcoming production called Legally Blonde. And you're going to show us a little bit more about building the set and how things are getting prepped for the big production. Good morning.
Well, the location couldn't be better. Looking at how they build everything and how they move everything. Alex Herzog is joining us. She is the director, not to be mistaken for Elle Woods herself. Good morning. Thank you for being on our show today. Today is the first day of rehearsals. What's so exciting about that?
We get to meet the whole cast today. So that is 24 cast members. 22 of the 24 are Manitobans originally. So it's so exciting to have our local talent coming together today to do something amazing.
And you're a local Manitoban as well, since moved. But how does that feel to you to come back?
It is a literal dream come true. As a youngster, you come to Rainbow Stage and you can only imagine that one day you'll be on stage, never mind getting to sort of be at the helm of one of the incredible productions I do here.
And Legally Blonde, iconic. I don't know anyone who doesn't like that movie, but when it comes to musical theater, it's giving it a different edge.
Yeah, 100%. It's the movie that we know and love with all of the nostalgia that we can expect with singing and dancing and like incredible group numbers. We have a 12-piece orchestra, so all of this is going to just come to life in the most incredible way.
Mm-hmm. And this cast and this group of people, I compare it to sports. It's like, what is so special about this group?
It is a dream team. We have auditioned I want to say nearly 1,000 people from all across Canada. We have 4 days of auditions in person. And then, my goodness, we probably have about 500 people auditioning from other cities on tapes. So they send in audition tapes and we watch absolutely everything. And we got to pick the people that we want. And it's a really special, really, really, really multi-talented cast.
Not just the people, the dogs too. We got them coming up next.
Yeah, we're so excited. We have 2 English Bulldogs. We have 2 Chihuahuas. And so we're so lucky to have these little puppies with us.
Oh my goodness. Do you think I could at least, because I obviously couldn't play Elle Woods for a lot of reasons, but maybe the Jennifer Coolidge character. I think I could work the bend and snap.
Oh, totally.
I don't know, have a crush on a mailman. There's something there. We'll figure it out.
Thank you, Ainsley. Well, get ready to feel the beat and live the culture. This year marks 55 years of Folklorama, and you have a chance to win a pair of tour visas to visit any and all pavilions you want to discover from August 2nd to the 15th. Plus, 2 lucky winners will also win seats on our CTV Mystery Folklorama bus to enjoy even more food and entertainment. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and don't forget to enter the keyword world. Good luck. Saturday marked National Itch Check Day, and vets across the country are encouraging pet owners to recognize the early signs of allergies. As CTV's Kathy Lee explains, vets are seeing more allergy-related cases as environmental allergens become increasingly common.
Good boy.
A lunchtime trip to the park is part of the daily routine for Benny Ramos and his dogs.
One more time.
Pomeranian Malachi and Yorkie Luna Marie are 2 of Ramos's 5 dogs. The others are home, including Rosie May, who suffers from seasonal allergies.
It is a respiratory thing, so she will go into these coughing fits. It's a more recent thing that's happened to her, and it's probably because she is getting older.
No signs of redness.
And she isn't alone. Madeline Brown, a veterinarian at this Calgary clinic, says more dogs and cats are coming in with allergy-related problems.
A lot of times it will be presenting for itchiness, licking their paws, licking their bellies and their groin.
And it's not just happening in Alberta. A veterinary clinic in Saskatchewan is seeing the same trend.
Almost as soon as the snow melted this year, we started to see more. That's due to the snow mold or the increase in pollens and grasses.
Experts say pollen levels in Canada have actually doubled since 1995. Daniel Coates says longer stretches of warm weather are leading to longer, more intense pollen seasons.
There's a direct correlation between climate change and the longer seasons with warmer weather, and hence you're seeing more pollen in the air.
Brown says pet owners should watch for some early warning signs.
See how your dog is doing after they come in from a walk. Do they seem more irritated? Do they want to go and lick or chew or nibble at their legs after being outside and exposed to these allergens?
For Ramos, he needs to give Rosie May medication to help alleviate her coughing fits.
She has to take medication a couple times a day.
But it helps keep her symptoms under control so she can keep up with the rest of the family. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
Let's do celebrating a milestone today. Happy 9th birthday, Adeline, with love from Grandpa and Grammy. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires, proudly keeping Canadians rolling for 50 years.
I've had lots of people ask me if we're approaching a record, especially today, which looks to be so hot at 35. It looks like we're going to be far off, happily. I'm not looking to get as hot as the 39.4 degree high that was reached in 1936. But as you can see, we are well off our typical high. 26 is a normal seasonal value. We're not going to be feeling that for the next couple of days. Currently, it's 25 degrees. With that humidex, it feels more like 32. This is not how you should be dressing for the record. It's just because AC is very gratefully very high in our newsroom. So I just try and explain that if you're wondering why I'm dressed like this. You need to be much cooler. It's so sunny out here and breezy with south-southwesterly winds at 30, gusting at times to 40 kilometers per hour. Pressure is on the rise, humidity sitting at 70%. I don't need to tell you, if you're in southern Manitoba, it's been a sweltering last couple of days. It looks like today will be equally oppressive, if not more so. Temperatures throughout, as you saw, 35 in Winnipeg, similar highs expected throughout southern Manitoba, but the humidex feels more like 45 degrees into those late afternoon hours. The good news is there's some cooler air likely pushing into our region, hopefully flushing out all this heat, and likely that humidex value is going to really come down tomorrow, but still very hot. We're looking at highs in the low 30s or upper 20s tomorrow. Meanwhile, northern Manitoba, you have a chance of rainfall and thunderstorm activity, particularly in the northeast. Temperatures there also very hot into the upper 20s.
Thank you, Catherine. Electric bikes and scooters have soared in popularity, but so have injuries involving the machines. We're hearing from a young teen making a remarkable recovery after suffering a traumatic injury. CTV's Garrett Barry on the message to other riders.
Jaden King just wants to get back to living.
Get out, change arms, and go back on the quad.
Hunting, fishing, getting out around the bay, out to the country in rural Newfoundland.
He loves to be dropped off in the middle of nowhere, walk to a pond with his fishing rod and his tent, and spend the whole day there.
He has taken these first steps, but it's a long road back, weeks in hospital after a traumatic electric scooter accident in May.
70 days. Too much.
He was driving the scooter with a friend on the back when he lost control of the machine.
Went face forward into the pavement, and the boy that was on the back of him came down on top of Jaden.
The helmet he was wearing surely saved his life, but still, injuries to his head were severe. Doctors needed to remove part of his skull to relieve the pressure of swelling in the brain. Jaden says he can't remember anything, but his mom, Amy Richards, remembers it all.
It's a feeling I never want to feel again, and I hope that no parent has to go through it.
Electric bikes and scooters are governed by a real patchwork of laws across the country. Different cities have different rules about how fast you can go and where they can be used. But as they're becoming way more popular, especially among children and young adults, more people are calling for stricter regulations, and more experts are weighing in on the dangers of these machines.
Parents don't realize how fast these machines are and how big they are and how dangerous they can be.
According to the Canadian Centre for Health Information, there are more and more people sent to the hospital because of e-scooter injuries across the country. Almost 500 between April 2023 and March 2024. That's up 32% from the year prior. Officials here in Newfoundland and Labrador have pledged a review and new legislation addressing these machines in the fall. Garrett Barry, CTV News, St. John's.
Doctors in this country are often asked to write sick notes for employees to be off work. The requirements have shifted significantly in recent years. And now Germany is cracking down. Even just one day off requires a note. CTV's Alison Bamford looks at the rules here and whether they could change.
When he's sick, tracking down a doctor's note is the last thing Mark Vogt wants to do.
It's a huge hassle.
His previous employer required one if he was sick for more than a couple of days.
And now I have to find some way to get that letter back to my employer. Meanwhile, I feel terrible. I just want to curl up and die.
Germany recently made it even harder for workers there to call in sick. New rules require a doctor's note on the very first day of their illness.
I don't think that's fair, and I wouldn't want to do that because it would be hard to make it to the doctor's office if you're so sick that you can't get to work.
The German government has previously complained of absenteeism being too high, and officials say this move will improve productivity. Business experts disagree.
I think there's a fundamental mistake when we equate time at work with productivity.
you can go to work and be entirely unproductive.
Here in Canada, laws are going in the other direction, although the rules vary. Manitoba recently passed a bill that prevents employers from asking for sick notes unless employees are absent for more than a week. In Saskatchewan, BC, and Nova Scotia, it's more than 5 days, and in PEI and Ontario, it's 3 days. Alberta doesn't have any restrictions in place.
We're all adults, so if I'm phoning in sick, it's because I cannot be at work today, whether it's mental sickness or a cold.
The Canadian Medical Association has been advocating for years to eliminate doctors' notes for short-term illnesses. Sick notes can take about 10 minutes to complete, and on average, Canadian doctors can receive more than 130 requests every year.
That adds up to a lot of hours for physicians across this country that could be better spent looking after individuals and their loved ones with more acute care needs.
And employees agree that their time wasted waiting for a doctor's note could be better spent getting rest.
I would rather just my employer take it at face value.
Allison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Thanks for joining us here inside the SportsCenter newsroom. I'm Laura Dykin. It is time to reveal our must-see moment from Sunday. For that, let's head across the pond to France in the Amundi Evian Championship, where Canadian Brooke Henderson put together quite the final round. Here in the hunt, sitting 4 off the lead on the par 3/8. This is her tee shot, and watch this one roll. Brooke Henderson with the hole-in-one. She had 3 eagles in the final round. Sadly, though, she finished second in a playoff, just missing on her 3rd career major title. But she does take home the must-see moment, a pretty good consolation prize. And that does it for us here inside the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great rest of the day.
The TSN Must-See Moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Monday, July 13th. Heat treatment. Social agencies scramble to provide hydration for Winnipeg's most vulnerable citizens as temperatures and humidity create hazardous conditions. Awaiting peak levels, officials in Brandon keep a sharp eye on the rising Assiniboine and work to ensure flood protection measures are up to the job. And 10 years dedicated to catching them all, and not even done yet. A milestone birthday for an interactive smartphone game that took the world by storm. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 8 o'clock on your Monday. Thank you so much for being with us. We're going to talk about menopause at 8:15. Many women are struggling with it. The research is still lacking, so we're going to find out what the latest is on that and some good advice from a doctor. Also at 8:45, tips from the city on how to stay cool in this extreme heat. That is what we're seeing right now, of course, to the point where it's dangerous, Catherine.
Absolutely, yes. So everyone listen to those tips, but I'll give you a couple. Take breaks if you must spend time outside. If you can help it, stay inside, because those temperatures, they are dangerous with that humidex. It's going to feel closer to 45 degrees at time. Oppressive. The good news is there is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Not a huge cool down on the way, but a cool down nonetheless. Taking a check-in on outside, it's 25 degrees. That humidex, as mentioned, already very rough this hour at 32 degrees. Those winds strong out of the south-southwest at 32, gusting at times to 44 clicks. Clear and sunny, pressure rising, humidity at 70%. So yes, not showing up. The heat doesn't register, of course, on our radar. What does is this low pressure system likely to bring rain, and you see some thunderstorm activity wrapped in to areas in the north. The strongest likelihood is coming in the northeast. Meanwhile, very strong likelihood, a sure shot of more humidity. We have those heat warnings in effect in orange and yellow for those watches, because today that humidex once again going to feel closer to 45 degrees. It's not just us, southwestern and southern Saskatchewan as well, dealing with those heat warnings, as is Cottage Country into northwestern Ontario. As mentioned, there is another kind of weather story to track today. This system here very much kind of wrapping around the northeast corner. As the day progresses, you start to see it lift off. However, it could be sticking around at least into the afternoon and evening for the northeast. While it's not registering a ton of activity in the northwest, you have a 30% chance of that rainfall as well. What's also not registering for us, lots of sunshine on the way, but overnight we too have a chance of rainfall and thunderstorm activity when there's there's this much moisture and humidity, those convective activities could be popping up. And then from there, lots of sunshine still to look forward to, but with it, some very hot temperatures. I mentioned a break in the heat. It's likely coming tomorrow. Not a wild change, 30 degrees tomorrow, but that humidex likely to come down a fair bit. And your weather art of the day, a pretty amazing one drawn by 9-year-old Zane. A great take on a weather photo, someone enjoying the links. Thanks so much for sending that in, Zane, and keep your weather pictures coming by visiting our website. That's where you submit, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. You've got to fill out a form because your art can be shown on Your Morning Winnipeg, but it's also going to enter you into our monthly contest, and it gets you a chance to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenaston and Regent.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle Paint Your Own Pottery, now open on Regent and Kenaston.
Winnipeg and most of southern and central Manitoba are in for another scorcher of a day today.
Humidex values will be more like low to mid 40s, so definitely reaching that dangerous zone for sure.
Environment Canada says in a warning that the humidex today could reach 45 in much of the south. Residents are being asked not to leave animals or children in parked cars and to check in on vulnerable populations. At helping agencies like Main Street Project, bottled water collection is in high gear.
Hydration is the key in extreme heat, I would say, and people experiencing homelessness are the most vulnerable.
Main Street Project is asking the public to drop off water at 176 Logan Avenue. Environment and Climate Change Canada says staying hydrated is key to staying safe as temperatures roast southern Manitoba. You're also reminded to avoid spending long periods outdoors if you can, and to be alert for heat stroke in yourself and others. Temperatures are expected to drop to the low 30s or high 20s by tomorrow. The city of Brandon is still keeping a close watch over levels on the Assiniboine River in anticipation of the peak, which is expected to arrive today. In a social media post Sunday morning, the city said in the past 24 hours, levels had risen over 1.6 feet. As well, once peak levels are reached, the city says they'll stay there for several days before beginning a slow decline. Brandon crews are continuing to monitor and inspect all flood protection infrastructure. As well, provincial crews are monitoring and maintaining flood mitigation measures along First Street. The public is being reminded that river levels and flows are extremely dangerous. Residents are asked to follow all posted closures and stay off flood protection measures at this time. Another sexual assault trial for former fashion mogul Peter Nygaard begins today in Montreal. The 84-year-old who founded the now defunct women's apparel company Nygaard International was found guilty of 4 counts of sexual assault in 2023 and sentenced to 11 years in prison in a Toronto trial. He faces sexual assault and forcible confinement charges in Quebec for events that allegedly took place between November 1997 and November 1998. Nygaard denies accusations that he used his position to lure women and girls. It's been 10 years since Pokemon Go players started their quest to catch them all.
We encourage connection and adventure in the game. The game doesn't work. We don't design it for you to sit on your couch and play alone.
The anniversary was marked with a Times Square takeover. When Pokemon Go came out in 2016, it quickly became one of the biggest mobile games in history. Its use of augmented reality allowed players to catch and find Pokemon in real-life locations. The game has been downloaded more than 1 billion times, with millions of players still logging on every day. All right, here's a look at what's happening right now on St. Mary's Road. Things have picked up in this part of the city, as you can see over here. But overall, we have no issues to tell you about. We do have a traffic note to tell you that there's lights flashing in all red on McPhillips and Stardust Avenue. So you should treat that intersection as an all-way stop and use caution traveling through. Signals crew are on the way to correct the problem.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires, proudly keeping Canadians rolling for 50 years.
Go back now to Ainsley, who's live at the Rainbow Stage with a cutie this morning. That's Bruiser. Good morning.
Well, I'm Elle Woods, and this is Bruiser Woods. We're both Gemini vegetarians. That's like the consignment version of that. But look how cute we are. Oh my goodness. Ashley is joining us Brittany, pardon me, alongside the other cast members who really won the Pawdition. So Brittany, tell me about that process.
Actually, it was kind of surprising. I just got sent a bunch of ads to get him to audition, and I submitted it and auditioned, and yeah, it was just kind of New.
No, of course. And surreal. Tell me about him.
He is 7 months old. He's a Chihuahua crossed with a Chinese Crescent, and he's absolutely adorable.
Well, no doubt. You don't have to tell me twice. It's funny because he's been so lovey-dovey the whole morning, and then the second we're about to be on camera, he's like, I need to move my position a little bit. When it comes, because the production is going to be live in August, but the rehearsal's starting today. Are you nervous, anxious, excited about the process of actually putting him out there?
A little bit excited, a little nervous, definitely like along for the ride. Don't really know what to expect because we've never done anything like this before, so just along for the ride. It'll be fun.
So if it goes well and you discover that you've got this amazing big Hollywood star, you're all for it? Okay.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm totally his momager.
Okay. And when it comes to, maybe a budding friendship, do you think that could perhaps happen in the next couple months?
I think by the end of this, they'll be best friends.
Why are you looking forward to seeing the Legally Blonde production in general? Because it is really fun and to see.
I'm probably most looking forward to it because I grew up with the movie, right? So that's kind of like my generation. So having him, like, he was already kind of like, I got him the bedazzled collar because he was kind of like a bruiser already. So then when this came up, it just was perfect.
No doubt. Thank you guys so much for this. And we're just going to end on a shot of the dogs because why not?
They are definitely cute. Thank you, Ainsley, and the Bruisers. The Calgary Stampede, one of many events with heightened security, especially with the Prime Minister in attendance. It's a common stop for politicians during the summer. But as CTV's Jeremy Sharon explains, this year is different.
Yeah, I have to say I do love that. Flipping pancakes, shaking hands, and forging connections. A textbook political tour for Prime Minister Mark Carney. But this year's Calgary Stampede stop is even more political, with a fall referendum in Alberta just months away.
We're stronger when we're together.
Speaking with CTV News Calgary, the Prime Minister addressed the importance of national unity right now.
Alberta, build not break, lead not lead. I mean, that's the Alberta I know. It's led the country, and with everything coming together at this time, where Canada's poised to help lead the world, Alberta leading Canada, that's what we need.
Albertans are set to vote in October on whether they want to stay in the country or hold a binding vote on separation.
Here he has an opportunity to champion a vision of federalism that might resonate particularly for those who think that federalism has been unfair or disrespectful to Alberta in the past.
Separatist sentiments and pipeline politics mean the stakes here are high. Albertans want action on their priorities. A little over a week ago, Ottawa and Alberta announced a proposed route for a pipeline to BC's coast has been submitted to the Major Projects Office.
I think you have to look at this as a set piece. What's the Prime Minister been up to over the course of a number of months? Right? It's presence and pipelines.
Now, the pitch to keep Canada together is coming from across the political aisle, too. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre made his stop at the Stampede last weekend.
We'll fight for Canada, including in the upcoming referendum, to win back Albertans through hope, not by wagging our fingers or lecturing them.
Now, Poilievre is set to spend a significant part of his summer in Alberta, campaigning against separatist sentiment. And the Prime Minister, too, has made several recent stops in the province. That has Alberta poised to remain front and center in federal politics all summer long.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
No relief from the heat just yet. In fact, we're starting off even on a very sweltering note, considering it's only 8 a.m. 26 degrees, that humidex making it feel more like 33. Sunny and clear, windy as well, with gusts out of the south-southwest. Pressure is rising, humidity sitting at 66%. I don't need to tell you, it's been oppressively hot in southern Manitoba, really all throughout the province. There is a little bit of rainfall potentially in our forecast in areas in northern Manitoba. You can see this system, and wrapped in there a little bit
bit of convective activity. For us here in Winnipeg and surrounding areas in the Red River Valley, really all of southern Manitoba into central regions, the heat is in full effect. Warnings in orange there, yellow in watches rather in yellow, those issued by Environment and Climate Change Canada Friday night. Likely to be lifted, we're hoping tomorrow as some cooler air wraps in, but it could take a little longer to lift over northwestern Ontario, where the heat is also affecting those watches and warnings. For us here in Winnipeg, staggering high of 35 degrees. 26 is what's typical, and this only tells part of the story that Humidex going to feel more like 45 degrees at times, particularly in the late afternoon, though hot all day. Winds stronger out of the south at 30, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour. With that heat, with that humidity, with that moisture in the air, we have a chance for thunderstorms overnight. We're likely staying dry, 20 degrees. Tomorrow, this doesn't look like much relief, but that Humidex is likely to ease as some cooler weather joins us. From there, we start to see things come down. Cloudy and a little bit cooler in 27 and 28 by Wednesday and Thursday, but we're heating back up into the weekend as that sunshine rejoins us. We're learning about menopause after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Air Canada has reached a tentative 4-year collective agreement with the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, covering 11,000 technical operations, maintenance, and operational support employees. The union will vote on the deal in the next few days. Ford has reached a tentative labor agreement with Unifor, covering about 5,100 members at its Canadian operations, according to the union. Unifor says the agreement covers workers at Ford's Oakville Assembly Complex, Windsor Annex and Essex engine plants, as well as parts distribution centers in Ontario and Alberta. The Omer's Pension Fund is taking a big hit on the sale of restaurant point-of-sale software vendor Touch Bistro, a one-time Canadian tech darling, to Constellation Software subsidiary Harris Computer for about $100 million. This, according to the Globe and Mail. Omer's invested about $140 million several years ago. It will likely only get about $2 million back. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
There have been a number of strides made in research surrounding menopause and how it impacts women. There are many different types of symptoms affecting a woman's physical and mental health, and more doctors are trying to help women who are perimenopausal, menopausal, and menopausal. And joining us now is family physician Dr. Okimute Enya. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you are a family physician, but you also specialize in women's health issues, and menopause, perimenopause, and menopause are obviously something you see all the time. Tell us a little bit about where we're at in terms of research in perimenopause and menopause and where we're lacking.
Okay, so menopause is a natural phase. Most women, if they live long enough, will go through. Commonly happens around the ages of 45 to 55 for women. And in terms of research and advancement in menopause, in the last 20 years, we've made a lot of advancement. 20 years ago, we had a lot of misconception about menopause, about the care of menopause. But now, we've made a lot of headway. We know that menopause exists. We acknowledge that it is something that affects women, and there are treatment options as well.
Okay, so here in Manitoba, the hormone replacement therapy is free. It's included.
That's
it's
correct.
covered.
Yes.
So let's talk about HRT and what it means and who should use it and who shouldn't.
Okay. Again, we've made a lot of. We've gone a long way from where we started from with menopause.
Yeah.
About 20 years ago, in the early 90s, we thought hormone replacement was bad. It was something people were scared of.
Because they thought it was cancer causing.
Yes, women and healthcare professionals were very reluctant to either prescribe or take hormone replacement therapy. But with recent research, we know that it's not a question of is it bad, is it good? It's a question of finding the right treatment for the right candidate. So what we need, or what we do these days, is we do individualized assessment for patients.
Okay.
We see what's right for them, and then we allow women to make informed decisions about their health. So for the right woman, and for most women, for most healthy women under the age of 60, hormone replacement is safe and is effective for them.
And what's fascinating about perimenopause and menopause is the symptoms can be so vast for women, and so they might not even recognize they're experiencing perimenopause or menopause.
Yeah, and that's the first gap in menopause care, recognition. So menopause is when people have gone through, when they've had their last period 12 months prior. But we know that before they get to the point of menopause, there's the perimenopause, where they start having symptoms. And at this stage, the symptoms is so varied. It could range from hot flushes to problems with memory, to urinary infection, to palpitation. So because it's all over the place, most women will struggle to understand and identify that they're going through the menopause. So that brings us to the first gap in menopause care, recognition. And for that, what our advice is, we should do a lot of public education. We should tell women what menopause is, what it could be like, what it could look like for them, so that when they're having the symptoms, they're able to tell that, yes, I'm possibly going through the perimenopause. A recent study in Canada here identified that about 1 in 3 women had, they had a 2-year gap from when they started having menopause, the symptoms of menopause, till when they got their care.
Okay, so what's your best advice for women who are watching right now? They might be struggling with symptoms or not sure if what they're struggling with is perimenopause or menopause. What should they do?
If you're not sure if you're having symptoms affecting your life, please speak to your healthcare provider.
And they will take a list of all your symptoms and then give you a good assessment on whether or not there is some therapy for you.
Yes, so they'll go through the symptoms you're having. Yes, like we said, the symptoms could range from one part of the body to another. So yes, it's not always menopause, but it could be. So have a discussion, have an individualized assessment with your healthcare provider. And if it's menopause, we have treatment options.
Okay, well, thank you for your time today. If you want more information, we have a link on our website. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, it's a hot start to the day and a breezy one. You can see my hair's all messed up because of those south-southwesterly gusts at 35, gusting at times to 45 kilometers per hour. The thermostat will say 26 degrees. Realistically, it feels more like 33 with that humidex. It's clear and sunny. The pressure is rising. Humidity sitting at 66%. I guess thermostat is the wrong word. The mercury, if you will. So in terms of our heat, I know many of you, like me, are quite sick of it. There is a little bit of relief on the way. Good news in that front, but today not the case. We're going to see humidex values feeling in the mid-40s as our temperatures peak in the mid-30s. There were some heat records set yesterday. Gimli was one of them, Portage La Prairie, as was Gillam. We have a full list on our website, so I want to encourage you to head on over there. It's not looking like we're going to set a heat record today, though it'd still be very hot, 35 degrees in Winnipeg as mentioned. With it, however, we're looking at the potential for some relief tomorrow. Some cooler winds likely ushering out this heat mass, bringing with it still hot temperatures tomorrow, 30 for Winnipeg, but that humidex night not likely to be as oppressive. So that's some good news. Here's Skywatch picture of the day. I imagine this hummingbird is enjoying the sunshine and heat. Thanks so much for Shane for making sure you grab that picture and sending it our way. And you can keep yours coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Weather is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Research at bbb.org before you buy.
Looking to stay comfortable while saving on your energy bills? A smart thermostat could help, and right now there's a rebate available to make that switch a little bit easier. We're now joined by Efficiency Manitoba's Lauren Radcliffe to share how all that smart thermostat works. Good morning.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So tell us all about it.
So a smart thermostat is a Wi-Fi connected device that helps you manage your heating and cooling more efficiently. So just like a programmable thermostat, you can adjust the temperature based on a schedule, and you can also adjust it from your phone. So if you're at work, on vacation, or just cozy on the couch, you can adjust the temperature from anywhere. So really at the end of the day, a smart thermostat just gives you more control over your home's comfort and helps you use energy more efficiently and save money.
So this is done through Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. And what are some of the benefits of this?
So one of the biggest benefits is convenience. So you can set a schedule that automatically adjusts the temperature throughout the day so that you're not cooling a home when people are away on vacation or just out for the day. And another benefit is that you can also control it from your phone. So whether you're on vacation or just resting at home, everything can be done right from your phone. So for example, if you were to leave and go on a weekend getaway and you forget to turn down your air conditioning, you can easily make that adjustment right from the thermostat's app.
Oh, I think of the Home Alone where she goes, Kevin, she's got the thermostat. Oh, you gotta fix it. Yes. We love affordability. We love a rebate. Tell us about the one you guys have.
So we're making smart thermostats more affordable by offering a $50 rebate when homeowners purchase and install an eligible Energy Star certified smart thermostat. So it's super easy to apply. You just submit your application within 90 days of purchase, and then make sure you also include your receipt and invoice.
And then when it comes to setup and all that jazz, you want people to contact you and ask any questions that they may have?
Yes, so if you're looking to upgrade to a smart thermostat, the best place to start would be our website at efficiencymb.ca/smart thermostat, and that's where you'll find all the information about rebate eligibility, product eligibility, as well as how you can apply. And if you have any questions along the way, our team is always happy to help.
Well, we usually go to a website. What would that be?
efficiencymb.ca/smart thermostat.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You have a glorious garden here at Your Morning Winnipeg. We love to see how you are passionate about your yard work. It could be an annual, perennial, or vegetable. Tell us about your garden and enter the contest to win a $500 gift card from St. Mary's Nursery and Garden Centre. Plus, have the chance to show off your garden live on Your Morning Winnipeg with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form with your answer and your photos. Good luck. At the World Cup, the semi-final matchups are set.
Morgan Rogers lets fly. It's 2-1 England. Bellingham's there once again.
England punched their ticket with this goal from Jude Bellingham in extra time to win 2-1 over Norway. That was the Real Madrid star's 6th goal of the tournament.
Julian Alvarez! Wow!
And in the other quarterfinal, Julian Alvarez scored this beauty also in extra time to lead Argentina to the 3-1 win over Switzerland. The Swiss were down to 10 men for much of the second half due to a red card. Argentina and England meet on Wednesday in Atlanta. France and Spain square off in the other semifinal Tuesday afternoon. All right, here's a look outside now. What's happening at Portage Avenue at Polo Park? Looks like things are pretty smooth over here. We're taking a break. We'll be right back after this.
We're off to a steamy start to the day. It's 26 degrees out there. That Humidex making it feel closer to 33. Sunny and clear, strong south-southwesterly winds, pressure rising, humidity sitting at 66%. Okay, we're going to talk about the heat in a moment, but right now I want to draw your attention to this low pressure system here, tracking most notably into the northeast, bringing a good chance of some rainfall and thunderstorm activity for you while we deal with the heat and maybe some thunderstorms as well. Details on that in a moment. You can see, though, that these heat warnings in orange still in effect for us here in Winnipeg, have been for the last couple of days, and watches in yellow going as far to the north as the Paw and Flin Flon. Meanwhile, our friends in northwestern Ontario over in cottage country also dealing with those weather alerts, those heat warnings and watches. So look for another few days of oppressive heat for you there. We'll likely see some relief a little bit earlier. Meanwhile, I mentioned the rainfall and thunderstorm activity likely affecting the northeast corner of the province today and tonight. Temperatures through this stretch still very hot in the mid to upper 20s, cooler in Churchill at 16 where it is misting this hour. To the northwest, you have about a 30% chance of getting a taste of that system, so rainfall, thunderstorms potentially, about a 30% chance. Highs very hot there in the upper 20s. Lynn Lake a little bit cooler at 23. Southwestern Manitoba scorching. That Humidex will make it feel in and around the 45-degree mark at times. It'll also be pretty strong with those winds, and there's a slight chance of rain and thunderstorms in and around Dauphin. For us here, similar highs, very hot. Humidex values also at about 45 degrees with those hottest temperatures late afternoon. Northwestern Ontario very hot as well with a chance of rain and thunderstorms in Red Lake. Into the back half of the week, we do see some relief tomorrow. Not looking totally cool, but that Humidex likely to cool us off substantially and losing more heat into the back half of the week.
Thank you, Catherine. The Manitoba government is rolling out several financial measures to help people hit by flooding in recent weeks.
We have our finance department and EMO working through the weekend to put money into your hand.
The province will be providing a $500 cash advance to people who have applied for disaster assistance. The Premier says it will be coming by check, along with a letter outlining the DFA process. Wabkanu also noted people don't have to wait for assistance to start their repairs, hire contractors, or order building materials, but they will need to keep photos and documentation of the work being done. 1,800 applications have already been received from people in the flood areas. The Red Cross will also be in the Swan Valley region and Swan River this week to help with personal recovery planning.
This personal recovery planning that is available to you and to anyone who's been impacted by the floods this year allows you to sit down with somebody with the expertise to sort through how are you going to plan to manage your finances over the coming weeks. How are you going to maybe cash flow getting your basement repaired?
The service will also be available by phone. Canoe says the total cost of the storms to the province are still being worked out, but could approach $300 million. Prime Minister Mark Carney says the agreement to open the Gordie Howe Bridge is a good deal for Canada.
The word net does a lot of work in this. We are sharing after Canada is paid back. So we get the revenues, then the servicing of the cost of the bridge, and paying the debt of the bridge, and then what's left over, there's a split.
News of a deal to open the bridge connecting Windsor and Detroit came out on Friday. Canada fronted the $6 billion cost to build the bridge. Under the original deal, Canada was set to collect 100% of toll profits until it recoups the cost. As part of this new deal, Canada will get half of the profits for 15 years. The other half goes into an economic development fund. The Gordie Howe Bridge is set to open on July 27th. Grab your quarters and loonies if you're heading to Winnipeg Beach. The return of a beloved community arcade is welcoming dozens of people back to the machines they grew up on. CTV's Joseph Bernacki reports.
Not all the fun is outside at Winnipeg Beach. Inside the Playland Arcade, players of all ages are at the air hockey table. A generational tilt is on full display.
I beat him 7-3.
To an 8-year-old grandson. It's great. I mean, I've been coming here since I was a teenager myself.
Kyler Johnson and his grandpa Scott Paluk enjoy the nostalgia of Playland while visiting Winnipeg Beach. More than 10 vintage arcade games are available, but you'll need to bring your quarters and loonies to play. Playland's owners say a nearly 70-year-old coin-operated relic is a favorite.
I think the biggest surprise has been the mechanical horse from 1957. Their faces light up when they're on it. It's really nice, and all we had to do on that one was dust it off and plug it in.
Tyler Benny and Melanie McFarland took possession in June 2025 and spent more than a year renovating the historic space. The couple reopened Playland on Canada Day. Manitoba Historical Society says the original building started in 1939 as a business to provide fast food and entertainment.
We wanted to change a whole bunch of things in our life, move out of the city, live by the water, everything, and then this place was for sale. We thought, well, let's inquire, and then before we knew it, we owned the building. And here we are a year later. I don't know, it's been really wild.
There's no shortage of players fishing for a fight on the joysticks of this classic title as the sounds of the arcade reverberate off the walls.
The fighting one is pretty cool because I watch my brothers fight all the time, and it's just like, yeah. I just really like beating Blair. Yeah, she needs me.
A new pinball machine donated to the arcade from the record store in town will be installed this week. The couple says they are overwhelmed with support from the beachside community. They point to a friendly business owner operating a mobile lemonade stand who drove by one day.
I was working on a machine over here, and he comes and hands Mel a lemonade, and
just says, like, thanks for opening Playland again. Yeah. This one's on me.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg Beach.
Here's a look at the situation now outside on Pembina Highway. It looks like things are moving quite well in this part of the city. We have no reports of issues to tell you about. Here's a look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.61. It's lower than it was on Friday, and the lowest price in the city is $1.54. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for your answers to our question of the day. We wanted to know, what's the geekiest thing you're into? Susan says, I get geeky when I'm with my grandchildren. I like that. Lindsay never misses a Winnipeg Comic-Con event, cosplay, meeting celebs, checking out old school toys, etc. Tracy shared, I often get razzed for being a Jeopardy nerd. Marlene says, I like to paint rocks, and me and my hubby write love notes to each other still. That's cute. And for Bill, his geek things too numerous to mention, but Star Trek, Star Wars tops the list. Thank you so much for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic, science-backed body contouring.
Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's talking about Legally Blonde, which is going to be at Rainbow Stage right away. Good morning.
And believe it or not, they had auditions because Elle needs a bruiser, you know, and Jennifer Coolidge's character, I'm trying to remember her name. Thank you guys so much for being here. Darlene, and Okay, first of all, the dogs. I'm overstimulated by how cute they are. So please tell me a little bit about your pooch.
So this is Wally. Wally is almost 5, and he spends his days helping hang out with youth that are kind of needing some extra support. And on weekends, he works with Gabby in the junior confirmation dog show ring.
And the accolades that come with that, these are some really well-trained dogs. What does that mean?
Well, it means Gabby spends a lot of time working with him, and we as a family reinforce her efforts on a daily basis, multiple times a day.
Oh my goodness. Elle Woods needs a sidekick, and I think this is a perfect, picture-perfect one. Tell us about your dog.
This is Sunny. She's a purebred Chihuahua, and she's a St. John's ambulance therapy dog. So we go to the hospitals and Children's Hospital, and she just loves people.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Maybe I don't know if selfish is the word of me, because I'm going. Tell us about the dog that you and the TV part of it. You know, Legally Blonde, Legally Blonde. You guys are like, look at all the charity work that these dogs are doing. When it comes to the fun of being in a live production, how exciting is that for you and your family?
Thrilling. It's unbelievable.
Did you train Sunny to look into the sun and?
No, I had a friend that told me about it just as a joke, and so I said, yeah, okay, I'm going to put her in. And I had hip surgery that day, so my granddaughter brought her in, and she did very well.
No kidding. I would say a spitting image. You're going to have to. You're going to have to look at other, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Other career paths. The faces on these dogs. This one does, let's see if I can get it to do a full smile. Is there something you could say?
Well, I don't know. Here, there.
Ah, there it is!
Was that a surprise? What is that a surprise, hey? Are you excited to be on the show? Yeah? Yeah?
Legally Blind into August. Rainbow Stage. Have a look for tickets online.
Oh, they deserve awards indeed. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's a hot day today, and that wind is not much fun either.
How do I follow those cute dogs, honestly, especially when I've got the news I have to deliver, which is, yes, Rochelle, it is very hot out here, and that mercury is really going to climb today once again. 26 degrees already. That humidex making it feel like 33. Sunny and decently clear out here. Winds are strong, messing up my hair out of the south-southwest at 35, gusting at times to 45 kilometers per hour. Barometric pressure is rising. Humidity sits at 66%. We had an angry emailer a couple weeks ago who doesn't like when I talk about my hair. So sorry, sir. Yeah, so it's going to be a blustery day in southern Manitoba. Not doing a lot to cool us off, though. We'll take whatever it can do because those temperatures very hot, peaking in southern Manitoba in the mid-30s. And then when you wrap that humidex in there, it's going to feel closer to 45 degrees that time. Not fun with those strong southerly winds. Northern Manitoba, particularly the northeast, a chance of rain and thunderstorm activity into the morning hours, potentially lasting into the afternoon, though likelier in the morning. The northwest as well has a small chance of getting hit as well. Temperatures in the northwest hot in the upper 20s and a little bit cooler as you go further east. For us here, speaking of cool, temperatures dipping down to 20 overnight, not much in the way of relief from these extreme heats, but we are going to be seeing a little less extreme humidex tomorrow. Our high at 30 degrees, and again, that humidex likely a little bit kinder. We're going to take a break. I'm going to go get in the AC like I need, but stay with us. So much more Your Morning Winnipeg still to come.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
It's a sobering shift playing out across the country as more and more Canadians trade cocktails for mocktails. And as CTV's Alison Bamford reports, a new business in Saskatchewan is tapping into the trend.
Harrison Hall is restocking shelves with products that sell as fast as he gets them in.
We had to do a couple emergency orders
Amongst all the beer, wine, and spirits, not an ounce of liquor fills these shelves. Dry Supply opened last week, becoming the first non-alcoholic retailer in Saskatchewan.
We noticed that there was a gap in the market, that people were looking for variety and they were looking for a high-quality product.
In a separate space that's not surrounded by alcohol.
The entire store is non-alc, so they're not having to worry about sifting through products, seeing if there is like 4% here, 3% here, 10% here.
Global demand for zero proof is skyrocketing. At the same time, alcohol consumption in Canada has hit a 20-year low. Those who study the history of alcohol believe this is a trend that's here to stay.
We're not expecting medical research to suddenly prove that alcohol is very good for you. So I think this is like smoking. Will be a long-term decline.
The younger generation is leading the cultural shift in drinking habits, with health one of the main drivers.
I've never seen so much change in one category as I have with low and no alcohol drinks over the last even just a year or two.
Part of that change includes more options and better technology, improving the flavor of non-alcoholic drinks.
You feel ostracized when you're not drinking. It takes that away. So now they're a part of the party and they don't feel like they're missing out. Just because you're not drinking doesn't mean you have to sacrifice.
Dry Supply has only been open a week, and already they're thinking of ways to expand in the province, hoping to build off the booming non-alcoholic industry.
I don't think that this is a trend. This is more of a revolution.
One that they want to lead. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
It's looking like it's going to be another hot day in Winnipeg. Environment Canada says in a warning that the humidex today could reach 45 degrees Celsius. This high heat could be dangerous, and that's why the City of Winnipeg has a list of reminders on how to stay cool and safe in these temperatures. Joining us now is the Acting Emergency Management Coordinator for the City of Winnipeg, Marianne Opria. Good morning, Marianne.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us. Now, it's dangerous when we experience extreme heat like this. Tell us about some of those dangers.
Well, there is potential for heat stroke or heat exhaustion, so it's better to start preparing yourself and getting ready so that you do not get those symptoms.
So what are the signs of heat stroke?
It can range, right? It can start with headaches. It can start with no sweating as it progresses and gets worse and goes into heat stroke. You can go in and out of consciousness, where eventually you will need to have someone or yourself call 911.
And what should you do to combat even it starting in the first place?
Well, stay out of the sun as much as you can. Try and stay in the shade. Drink lots of water. Stay hydrated. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Just have water with you and just continuously drink it.
Any other recommendations for people to stay cool when you're outside in this extreme heat?
Absolutely. City of Winnipeg buildings are open as public cooling spaces. So going into any of the leisure centers, going into the city libraries, you can go in there, stay out of the sun, grab some water. Going into the indoor pools or even the outdoor spray pads or in the wading pools. There's also a list of community centers that have opened up spaces as cooling spaces, and people can go in, get out of the heat, and have some water there as well. And the city has also set up some hydration stations, and they're just all over the city where people can get some clean drinking water. So if people are wanting to know hours of operation or knowing where those locations are, they can absolutely go to the winnipeg.ca website and see where they are.
Okay, let's remind people about the dangers of heat stroke. It could actually kill you, right?
Absolutely, it's life-threatening.
Okay, anything else you want people to know?
I think it's really important, again, to stay hydrated. There may be vulnerable people that you know are around you, so checking on your vulnerable friends, family, or relatives. If you do have to be out and about, checking around to see if anybody around you may need help and to call 911 or get them into the shade, get them some water, cool them off as much as you can. Maybe switching up what you do when you do your activities, anything strenuous, maybe leave those for later in the day. Yeah, even walking out with your pets, you know, the cement can be very, very hot in the little paws. So maybe just kind of rearranging your day to know, you know, when the heat is less or the sun is not as high and as hot, and going out and doing those activities that you need to do.
All right, and maybe just stay inside if you can. All right, thank you, Marianne.
Thank you.
And Catherine, yeah, it's going to be extremely hot today.
Yes, very good tips there from the city, because those temperatures are going to be intense, and those are good reminders. If you can help it, just stay inside. Temperature controlled, lovely, because any amount of time outside can feel pretty punishing. And our four-legged friends who can't tell us how hot they are. It's a good reminder, yeah, the pavement can be hot. They overheat pretty fast. Yep. sunscreen, hat, water, all the tricks, but really...
Also heard this weekend at Folk Fest, people were wearing those neck fans.
I
They
kind of
were
want one of
everywhere.
those. Yeah, they're handy because we hold, especially if you got like a lot of hair like me, you hold a lot of heat back there.
And your arteries are there.
Yes,
And
exactly.
If you cool off your neck, you feel a lot better.
But the best tip is really just to stay inside if you can. So because our temperatures, once again, we're dealing with these very hot highs in and around the 35-degree mark, but that humidex really kicking it into full gear. Currently, it's 26 degrees. Speaking of the humidex, this hour it feels like 33. Sunny and clear, very strong south-southwesterly winds, gusting at 35 to 45 kilometers per hour. Pressure rising, humidity sitting at 66%. So yes, heat warnings continuing. We are kind of keeping an eye, though, on this system here, likely affecting the northeast today. Still a chance of it coming to the northwest. Rainfall and some instability wrapped in there. You can see those little thunder icons there. So it could be a bit of a stormy day. Meanwhile, a hot one, as mentioned, those heat warnings in effect in orange and yellow are those watches. Likely, though, we're hoping that we're going to see things ease a little bit overnight, and thus these warnings are going to be lifted, we hope. But we got to get through a pretty rough day first. 35 degrees, that humidex, though, at times feeling more like 45. Winds will be pretty strong out of the south at 30, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour. Then overnight, we have a low chance, but a chance nonetheless of thunderstorm activity. That's always possible when there's this much humidity and moisture in the air. Temperatures dipping down to 20, winds staying pretty strong out of the south. Then into tomorrow, I know this doesn't look like a big improvement. However, we have some cooler air likely coming our way, hopefully blowing out this hot air mass. And that means that while our mercury will still be well above seasonal at 30 degrees, with the humidex, it'll likely be a little bit less oppressive, if you will. And then you see a much better ease off into the next week.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
When taking photos, context is everything. Like this new dad who had to get ACL surgery 1 week before his son was born, but without that context, all of the baby photos look like he was the one who just gave birth. Yeah, I guess so.
Now give the mom the glory there. That's not an easy thing.
Absolutely not. And you may have heard of helicopter parents. These are some helicopter friends, though. For this party trick, we see one guy standing in the center, another guy gets onto his shoulders, and that guy then lifts a third man in the front using his feet, and they spin in circles. And the video cuts out before we see how bad this probably ended up, though. Hopefully there's no alcohol involved in this one.
And the guy in the back must have abs of steel to keep himself up like that.
So scary. Watch the fan.
I put my nephew on my shoulders this weekend, and I've been like putting a heating pack on my neck ever since. I'm not as spry as these guys.
Oh. And then finally, everybody loves weird things dogs do. Instead of biting, Alva likes to duck, or whatever this is. It's a strange habit, especially because mini pinchers are known to be toy dogs with big attitudes. Alva is known as Alva the Hot Dog on social media and has more than 80,000 followers on Instagram. She's absolutely adorable.
Looks like a bat hanging there.
So
like,
cute.
it's so funny.
That does it for us. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.